care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Sports bettors, we've all been there. You have a live bet lined up, you check the odds one more time, place the bet only to see the bet delayed by the spinny wheel, line move, and your bet rejected. My name's Alex Kane, and I'm the founder and CEO of Sporttrade, Arizona's newest sports betting app. At the core of the Sporttrade offering is our probability-based odds. In other words, the Cardinals may be offered at 55% odds to win, a lot simpler than minus 125. Place your bet at 55% odds, and as your win probability changes, so does the value of your bet, giving you the ability to cash out with total control. And the best part, no spinning wheels. Live bets on Sporttrade are instantly accepted. Download Sporttrade on your iPhone today and use code 1580 to earn 10% cash back on every bet in your first week. Terms apply.
Sporttrade is regulated by the Arizona Department of Gaming. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do...
Let's play something, Grandma.
...became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This holiday season, make sure your plans include a sober ride home. Before the party starts, make sure you have a safe way home. Call a sober friend, taxi, or rideshare, because buzz driving is still drunk driving, and drunk driving can land you in serious trouble. Don't ruin the holidays. Plan ahead and get home safe to avoid a DUI. For more information, visit drivesober.az.gov. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Hi, guys. Jeffrey O'Brien here. Have you ever gone to HarmonSolar.com? Well, you really need to, because everything you ever wanted to know about how solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast, too. Check it out. Go to HarmonSolar.com. That's HarmonSolar.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Wednesday here on the Daily Blender. I'm a good friend, Radio Pound, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. He'll be back tomorrow, but Keon Rose is in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Today is National Take the Stairs Day. It's also National Snuggle a Chicken Day. Yeah, I'm not doing either. Not doing either. I mean, I have no choice at the house. I got to go up and down stairs. I can't help that. But outside of, going up and down for, personal reasons, I ain't taking the stairs. It's supposed to be a thing where you're like, I'll skip the elevator and I'll take 18 flights of stairs to my office. The hell I will. It can be National Take the Stairs Day for you. Not for me. Not doing that.
I agree.
And by the way, you might want to think twice about National Take the Stairs Day or National Snuggle a Chicken Day. Especially with the bird flu going around. Probably.
That's true.
Yeah. That's true. The first person has actually died of that. So maybe don't snuggle a chicken. Maybe skip that day today. So also, geez, the fires. Have you seen it's just crazy. The video of these fires is just walls of fires, and so far only a couple of people have died that you know of. I am guessing, based on the videos we've seen, going to be a lot more that you just didn't know about yet. You know what I'm saying?
just some amazing video, just absolutely crazy. So, not that it matters, but the hockey game between the Kings and the, well, ironically named Flames, they've canceled that in LA. So there will be no Kings and Flames hockey game. Also, they're keeping an eye on things to see what happens with the Vikings and the Rams on Monday. So again, there's bigger fish to fry. Okay, maybe not the word fry. There's other things to worry about right now. And so they say, well, we might send this game to Vegas, or we might send it to Phoenix. I don't know. Okay. I mean, it's not that big a deal compared to what's happening. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's awful, man.
So I'm flipping through the channels, and one of the crazier things I've seen is for whatever reason, James Woods, who the actor, who he's very, very conservative, is on CNN, a network he hates, crying because he's lost his home, and talking to them. I was just like, wow, that's so many things here I just did not expect to see in the same place all at one time, but the weather is not participating. So yeah, I think this is going to get worse before it gets better, I think.
And
unless somebody has said it's getting better. I haven't heard that it's getting better.
I have actually heard that it will get worse. So just
2025 starting out strong, isn't it?
Yeah, wasted no time. Wasted no time. And you just hope that the damage is kept to a minimum as much as possible.
We're still talking about the fires, right?
We are still talking about the fires.
Just want to make sure.
2025 is like there's nothing we could do about the rest of the year. We're only 8 days in.
Yeah. The fires may not be the worst thing that happens this year. Baker's Cocky Hen says James Woods going to have to move back to Quahog. Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah. So anyway, by the way, I guess a lot of you guys forget, we're talking about LA, the Palisades. We're talking about Los Angeles. We're talking about where a lot of people live and a lot of athletes live. And so JJ Redick, they had to evacuate his family. All sorts of people are losing their homes. That's the thing about a natural disaster. It don't care if you're rich. It don't care if you're famous. It's just going to eat. The fire is going to eat whatever is in front of it, and it does not care who you are. So a lot of people are suffering a lot of tragedy. Although Steve Kerr's 90-year-old mother was evacuated safely, so that's good to hear. But yeah, there's a lot of like they're going up to do the press conference, and the sheriff is just like, yeah, as I was walking up here, I'm hearing about people who are working here right now who've lost their houses, just gone.
Wow.
So it's everybody that works there, lives there. This is not just fantasy time. This is people living, dying. Somebody went out there. There was this news crew, and they're like, "Hey, he's like, yeah, we're trying to help people out here. Oh, what's going on?" It was Steve Gutenberg. And the person there was too young to know it was Steve Gutenberg, but from Police Academy, finally making himself useful. But he's just running around out there helping people. So just that's where people live. It's not just hey, I'll be honest. When I say I wish that California would drop off the country and into the ocean and float away, but I didn't mean I wanted everybody to burn to death. So I mean. Safely do what you got to do, but I didn't want
detach, still be California, but just float off and be the island of California, and not
maybe just leave us alone. Stop moving here. Stop moving here is all we're asking. So there's going to be a lot more of that, and I would imagine that a lot of sporting events are going to end up getting. Nobody cares, but it is going to have an impact on anything and everything. And the economic impact that this is going to have on the entire country, it's going to be substantial.
It's about to be crazy. And that's the reason why, it doesn't matter. Like, the hockey game doesn't matter in that sense. But the reason why it matters as far as talking about it goes is usually sports are the first thing that get impacted.
Mm-hmm.
And then if it's really bad for the sports, it's probably a good sign it's going to be pretty bad for a lot of other things.
You think about the economic impact of how much money they will make for that one game, right? And then you think, okay, forget the game. Now multiply that by all the businesses in the area losing money, or all the businesses in the area burnt to the ground. Just think about the economic impact of what the insurance is going to get hit, how much money it's going to take to do this and that, and the bailouts and the people's lives shattered. There's just a huge impact that this is going to have. And when it just hits California, well, it hits the entire country. And you're going to start to see the impact of that over the next few months. Baker's Cocky Hen says, we all hate California, but, we still love everyone. Rose Bowl was pretty close to the evacuation areas. I think they're using that site as a place. It says something about, hey, this is going to be a place where they'll store big animals. What the hell does that mean? Are they like horses?
Yeah, I think they got like livestock and stuff out there too.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. I mean, that's very that's very cool to do that. So Baker's Cocky Hen says, I worry about the doggies. How about the people? How about we worry about the people first and then the doggies?
The people take care of the doggies,
Yeah. People, here's the order of things. People, doggies, horses, cows, goats, alpaca. What else is it? Emu.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going, and then when you're done, cats.
Oh, stop it!
Gotta have your priorities. That's all I'm saying here. We'll keep you up to date on the part of the sports that matter, but honestly, it doesn't matter. So, wow. So, I just don't get this. We don't have that many different people on the Phoenix Suns this year from last year, right? It's pretty much the same squad, right?
It's more or less the same squad, yeah.
Why are we so bad now? And here's the thing nobody's talking about. They're like, Bradley Beal. Oh, this. I'm like, well, what about the coach? Is this the coach? Why are the Suns, with all the talent of the big three, why are we so bad all of a sudden? What happened?
Yeah, I think you don't end up being in a disappointing season like this for any single reason, right? Like there's usually multiple reasons, and I do think that
we just got beat by Charlotte.
Yeah, and I'm saying that there's a number of reasons why it's kind of happening this way. One, obviously, over the course of the season, injuries, but then now that they're together, I don't know if it's just a complete lack of rhythm. I could not tell you.
Well, they did say the rhythm is going to get you.
Well, that's true. And
Gloria Estefan knows her basketball.
Just absolutely predicted the future there, apparently. So like I do think that when you're looking at this team, like there's just like a lack of that fiery person that gets on your ass and says, hey, we're not doing well enough. We're not good enough right now. Chris Paul, once upon a time, used to be that person on this team. And I think maybe we underestimated what that meant value-wise.
Well, without that person on the team, then the coach is the one who is supposed to be able to do that.
Yeah.
The biggest change was the coach.
Yeah. And I like Budenholzer, but I was pretty skeptical when they went after him. I said that when they hired him, and also when they fired Vogel. I said, don't be so excited to get rid of that guy, because as much as you can hate on his offenses and hate that his offenses aren't the best, his teams played defense. His teams rebounded. That's what they did, including last year's team. This year's team, they don't rebound very well. They don't play very good defense very consistently. I mean, last night, they got out-rebounded by the Hornets. We were talking about this before, but they got out-rebounded by the Hornets 59-42. That's a 17 rebound difference. You can't win basketball games in this league unless you're making every single shot you shoot rebounding like that. You just can't. And a lot of that is kind of Nurkic. A lot of that is a little bit of Plumlee. Like they just don't really have a big guy that wants to get in there and do the dirty work. And Vogel, for whatever reason, was able to get that out of Nurkic in a way that Budenholzer can't.
So, everybody's looking at this whole situation, and everybody's worried about, hey, we got to trade Bradley Beal. You know who wants to come here really bad, right? Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler.
We got to make that trade. I'm telling you, I don't think it's the players. I don't think it's the players.
I think, I don't necessarily think it's the players, but I do think that if your coach isn't going to get you fired up, like Jimmy is, like the value that Jimmy would bring is more, he's a fiery guy that doesn't like losing and would be loud and mean and angry about it in a way that I think this team probably needs.
Yeah, we could use that.
And if you're not getting it from the coach, like some teams just get it from a player. Like the Warriors have for years gotten it from Draymond. Draymond's not playing the level of basketball he played 6 or 7 years ago. He still has value out there though, because he never lets them take plays off. That's what he does out there. And you see Chris Paul even now with the Spurs. Like the Spurs are young and Chris Paul's whipping them into shape because he just doesn't like losing. Like you need that person that hates losing on a team like this, and they don't have it. And the coach isn't that guy either.
Think he'll be a future head coach, Chris Paul?
He's smart enough to, and I think that like guys listen to him, but there's also a level of he could lose a locker room, but the way his personality is too.
I think
so it could go either way.
Would be the most teed up coach in history.
Perhaps, yeah.
Pissing off the refs all the time. So yeah, that was not great. Getting beat by the Charlotte Hornets, who had lost 10 games in a row, and then beat the Suns 115-104. It started out all right. The Suns seemed to like, they were like, I don't want to take a nap. They just got sleepy all of a sudden, and they couldn't.
The Hornets
score.
Do not play an ounce of defense. The only way they can beat you is if you defend worse. That's really it. There's no other way for them to beat you. They don't defend anybody.
Baker's Cocky Hen says, can we trade KD and Beal for Butler, Hero, Bam, and Jovic? No, the answer is no. There's no way
they're not.
It's going to happen.
Who's going to do that? Who's going to actually do that? Be real.
Bullseye says, I knew the Suns should have gone after Doc Rivers when they had the chance. Sure, he might not win you a championship, but he'll at least get you deep in the playoffs. Budenholzer ain't going to even get this team in the play-in game. But at this point, this team's not going to get this team in the play-in game. And again, I'm not going to pretend to know, who's to fault here. I'm just saying the only main variable in this, it happens to be the coach.
Yeah, just it's when you look at the offensive numbers of the players, the offensive numbers of the Suns this year, like the individual players have all gone up, but the defense is worse and the rebounding is worse, and that's a problem, and that is part of his identity as a coach. That's not something he's ever really stressed. He's always been much more of an offensive guy, and it's kind of biting the Suns in the ass right now.
So Bradley Beal has a no trade clause. And according to his agent, they're like, we ain't even talked about this. We're not even talking about this. So there's been no discussions. The Suns haven't gone to the agent. They haven't gone to Bradley Beal and said, hey, hi, hey, about the trade clause. Come on, man. Nothing. There's been no conversation.
Yeah, I think it's still, we're coming up on the trade deadline. I have to double check when that is, but I think the Suns are going to wait to see, what other teams are doing, and maybe if they can join a trade and maybe facilitate in that, because I don't know that anybody is going to just take Bradley Beal straight up any place that he would like to go, because that's really what it comes down to. I don't think you can talk him out of the trade clause if you're like, hey, we're going to trade you back to Washington. Yeah, that trade clause is staying right the hell where it is.
For the record, I don't talk like that to employees. I don't talk.
You actually don't. No.
Because if I did, nobody would have worked for me for as many years as they had. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? Can you work Saturday?
Not if you ask like that. That just seems weird when you say it like that. Yeah.
Nobody wants anything to do with that. By the way, I don't think we need anybody Saturday. That was just an example.
Yeah.
The next Saturday we need something.
No.
I don't know. I'll talk to Phil. Anyway. Hey, Phil, how are you? So the Sun Devils, holy crap. Kansas, we're ASU's basketball visiting them at home, the Kansas home, and they're favored by 14.5 points. This is not going to go well for us, is it?
I don't think so. Kansas is, well, they're in this
We're
thing.
We're going to get Jayhawked in the face.
Yeah. Kansas is in this.
Don't ask me what that means. I don't even know.
I don't know either, but
it sounds like a thing, doesn't it?
If you want to find out what that is,
we're getting Jayhawked in the face tonight, 7 p.m. on ESPN2.
Because Kansas is just an incredible basketball team. They're obviously a basketball power. They're a machine. They recruit, the top players nationally every single year.
Yeah, but we got a guy named Jihad.
You do, and he's
somehow I feel like that should help us.
He's real good.
Yeah,
Bashir Jihad.
Just saying. Do they have a Jihad? We have a Jihad.
They got a Mayo.
They got a Dickinson.
That's true.
I don't know.
And a Griffin.
I got nothing on this, to be honest. All I know is, we've won 3 of our last. Three of our last 5. They've won 3 of their last 5. We're 10-13, 1-1 in conference. They're 10-3, 1-1 in conference. We have the exact same record, so shouldn't we be ranked 11?
Yeah,
maybe 10, maybe 9.
They are. It's based on.
Don't just sometimes just let me have this. I know what you're going to say. They play tougher teams. They're in a better conference.
And of course they were highly ranked last year and returned a lot of those guys. So that's also playing into this too, where everybody just kind of knows what this team is about. Where ASU, if you knock off Kansas, I don't know that gets you to 11, but it gets you ranked. That'll get you ranked. Absolutely.
I guess I probably should have talked to you about this before the show. Hey, say nice things about ASU.
I'm trying to. I haven't said anything mean. I don't want to say nice things about Kansas. I hate Kansas.
Ooh, you hate Kansas?
Yeah, I mean, Texas is no longer in the Big 12, but that team has caused me a lot of misery over the course of my life, and I have not forgiven them. I don't care if we're not in the same conference anymore. I don't like the Jayhawks. I don't want to say nice things about the Jayhawks, but they're really good at basketball. What do you want me to say?
No, I mean, I think you should continue to hate on them now, but through ASU. So, enjoy that.
Hunter Dickinson's a really good basketball player, man. He's hard to stop, and I don't know what you're supposed to do about it. And I hope that the Sun Devils can slow him down and hand him an L. I would still rejoice with that. Yeah.
It'd be nice. But I'll tell you what, I'll send us to break with good news. I saw this today. Dick Vitale went to the doctor. He got in there, took a look at his throat and said, you know what? You're ready to go back to work. You're ready to go back to work. And
wow.
You are now clear to call games. You're 85 years old. You've had melanoma, lymphoma, and laryngeal cancer. But you know what? You're good. You're cancer free. Everything's working. You're 85. So maybe take a nap during halftime, but you're good to go. So Dickie Vitale coming back to the radio. Now, you're like, oh, good for him. He beat cancer. And if you're annoyed by him, you're like, God damn it, cancer. It's just, oh God. So, but I like him.
I like him.
He seems like a good dude.
He seems like a good dude, and he's fun. He any broadcast he's on is just a fun broadcast.
Well, he's on the way back and cancer-free. That's the part that matters the most. We're going to take a break. We will come back. We got some more random things and then a schload of NFL stuff. It's the off season for most teams, and so there's a lot of stuff going on there. But we'll talk about the teams who are still playing the season, getting you ready for the playoffs, and I don't know, just tons of NFL. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. This update brought to you by Sport Trade. Download the Sport Trade app and use code VSIN to earn 10% cash back on every bet in your first week. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
NBA, the Phoenix Suns will be back in action Thursday night at home when they take on the Atlanta Hawks. They're back from a 3-game road trip that wrapped up Tuesday when they lost to the Charlotte Hornets 115-105. Phoenix has now dropped 5 of their last 6 games. Devin Booker had 39 points in the loss, while the Hawks are coming off a victory in Salt Lake City against Utah, where Trae Young hit a 50-foot buzzer beater to beat the Jazz. The NFL playoffs start this weekend, 6 games on the schedule. The Detroit Lions are the betting favorite to win Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans at plus 300. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hi, guys. Jeffrey O'Brien here. Have you ever gone to HarmonSolar.com? Well, you really need to, because everything you ever wanted to know about how solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast too. Check it out. Go to HarmonSolar.com. That's HarmonSolar.com.
Now open in Scottsdale. It's United Forte Custom Door Showroom with 40,000 Euro doors and hundreds of state-of-the-art designs and finishes on display, plus kitchen cabinets, bathroom vanities, and more, all at wholesale prices. Builders, contractors, designers, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Forte, P-O-R-T-E. Stop by to see and feel the quality. United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
Hey everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right, they're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona. And they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage Team.
We put you so close to the game, you can almost smell the sweat.
Ooh, awkward.
GCU basketball is live on the Fanatic.
It's the first road trip of the season as the GCU men's basketball team's in Orem, Utah to take on Utah Valley. Tip times at 6 p.m.
Michael Potter and Paul Coro have the call live for GCU basketball on 1580 The Fanatic and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Magnificent Mr. Mormon says, I'd work for you on Saturday, but not Sunday. Unlike Chick-fil-A, closed on Sundays, except for the Lord. Hey, I still like Chick-fil-A. I can't help myself that I like this racially and religiously intolerant chicken. I can't stop.
I forget what football player it was where people were jumping on him on Twitter for eating at Chick-fil-A, and then he said, "I'm so sorry. The chicken is too tasty."
It's damn good.
And then everyone forgave him because it was just so honest. It was just he was like, I'm not trying to be insensitive. They make good chicken, and what do you want me to do?
What do you want me to Cane's? Do? I went to Cane's. Cane's is all right. It's all right, but it's not. It's missing something.
I like the Cane's, and it needs the Cane sauce, and I need a lot of it.
So
which costs me more than it probably should.
Chick-fil-A is getting some heat right now because they've recently tweaked their French fries. You know, them waffle fries. So now their fans, Mormons, are up in arms saying that this little minor change has a major impact. It's fries. Who cares? But there's a rumor last summer they were ditching the waffle fries. And then everybody lost their mind, said, don't you come at us with normal cut fries. And turned out that wasn't even true. Chick-fil-A did reveal that they were looking at ways of making them crispier. So now they have presented that way and people are not liking it. Not clear when they rolled these new fries out, but people online are complaining that they're drier, grainier, not as good as they used to be. Has anybody noticed this?
I don't eat at Chick-fil-A enough.
And I don't eat fries. I just go, give me some nugs. Do you want anything? What? No. You want some sauce? No, I don't even want that. I like to eat them straight. Don't give me the sauce is for badly cooked things. A1 Worcestershire, badly cooked meat. The Chick-fil-A chicken sauce, I'll use that on badly cooked chicken, but not them nugs. They're good. So anyway, Chick-fil-A added a page to their website, and they says, yes, we are using a new recipe. The main difference is the fries are now coated with pea starch, PEA. Take it easy, moist one. And it is supposed to keep them crispier longer. So is this something to make them sit on a shelf longer better? Does that sound great? Doesn't sound great. They claim they still have same great taste, but people are disagreeing a lot. And so now everything Chick-fil-A posts on a social media now is being flooded with comments like, bring back the old fries. Your fries aren't good anymore. So no matter what they say, I mean, they'll post about the fires in California, say our thoughts and prayers. And somebody says, yeah, my thoughts and prayers are with the old fries.
Oh my God.
You can't escape it.
Guys, let it go.
Yeah.
Like in that one instance, let it go for that one tweet, please.
This is the second time they've pissed everybody off in like less than a year. Man. They also remember they caught heat last spring when they switched from no antibiotics in their chicken to some antibiotics in their chicken. Yeah, they used to use NAE chicken, which is short for no antibiotics ever. Now they use a looser standard of chicken raised with no antibiotics important to human medicine. Okay, see, it's just still, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, there are people that get really suspicious about that stuff, but guys, they're a business, and if they don't have chickens and the chickens don't have antibiotics, what is probably happening because of the way the industry around the chicken works is that the chickens are dying, and it costs too much money.
Let me be honest, I could use all the antibiotics I can get, I think. So I'm not even mad about that.
Yeah, accidentally get a couple.
Yeah.
So might be healthier somehow.
So as far as I'm concerned, I'll just keep eating them nugs. I don't care. Yeah, I'm sure people will tell me how wrong I am, but that's fine. I'm used to it. I'm married. Suffering A's fan says, all you need to do to make it crispier is just fry it a little longer. Why do weird stuff? No, this is about making it crispier, Suffering A's fan. It's about making it last on the shelf and stay crispy longer. Yeah, you get your fries, you take them home, like In-N-Out burger fries. Oh, yeah, they're hot, they're great. And then as soon as they cool down, you're like, no more num-num.
Yeah, no, I have a rule because my sister likes In-N-Out burger. I have a rule. We eat at the In-N-Out burger. We do not take the food back home because by the time you get back home, it's not even worth eating.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, yeah,
the burger's still good, but the fries, no.
We live close enough, I think, to one where I can get it home. I get to about halfway through, and then they cool down. And you're like, well, I didn't really need all them fries anyway. But I tell you, McDonald's fries, those are good hot and then warm.
Yeah.
To a point. You can sit there and finish them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like if I go to McDonald's and then drive back to my house, I'm okay. If they're cold, if I leave and then come back and I realize, I didn't quite finish those.
Yeah.
I didn't finish them at all.
Yeah.
Is what happened.
Yeah. Maybe it's for the better though. Do we need all them fries? You know?
Not really, actually. I mean, you're right.
Suffering A's fan says In-N-Out fries are an abomination. I didn't see that part of the Bible, but you know, I'm fine with them.
Perhaps
I like
an Exodus
skinny,
somewhere.
Greasy, salty fries. That's my jam. Skinny, greasy, salty fries. Baker's Cocky Hen says, I just imagine Jimmy Butler giving a Braveheart type speech and Durant rolling his eyes if they were to play together.
Yeah, but the thing with Jimmy is like it's not even like a Braveheart. It's because he's not like the Jameis Winston eat a W kind of speech. Jimmy is like, why is your ass not on defense right now? Right now. What you are late on that switch. Like Jimmy is not. It's not a rah kind of thing. It's a
call you out and shame you for what you're not doing thing.
If you don't get back over there and defend the person you're supposed to be defending, I'm going to break my foot off in your ass. That's the kind of speech that Jimmy's given. And Kevin Durant might still roll his eyes, but to be clear, it's not a corny kind of speech.
But it's also not a speech directed at him, and he'll know that because Kevin Durant plays hard. Kevin Durant,
and actually, one of the
sniper.
One of the few defensive bright spots of the last night's game was Kevin Durant somehow.
So Yeah, I think that if that's what we need, then maybe we do need to get some Jimmy Butler. King Kitten says, I never drive with In-N-Out burgers in my car. The smell of the food gets into the interior of the car and it never goes away. You say that like it's a bad
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, okay, so my car smells like animal style fries now.
When Randy and I were first doing morning show, I was working like 3 jobs because I had a partner, a wife at the time who was just like, I don't believe in work. Okay. So I was working 3 jobs, and one of them was I was delivering pizzas. And I get in the car in the morning to go into the radio station and be like, smells great. Pizza smells great.
Yeah, when I used to work at Domino's.
My car smelled amazing
Yeah, it
every
was
day.
lovely.
I don't mind that at all. I'll tell you what, and I still stand by this, and I wish I could find a way to make it last longer. There's no better house deodorizer than making bacon in the morning. You make bacon, you make a pan full of bacon, your house smells amazing. Y'all go out to Home Depot or something, come back. Oh my God, something magnificent happened here. Oh, that's right. It was bacon. You know,
Lovely.
bacon smells nice.
It's a great smell.
You know, another good smell I like. This is controversial. Not everyone will agree. You know, I sit there and smoke some cigars. You come back in, has a cool. I like that smell. If it's the right, you know, like not like cheap, nasty ass cigars.
Yeah,
but
no,
like
I can see that. Yeah,
cigars like a cherry or just like cherry tobacco pipe. You know, oh, it's a great smell. Other people are like, it's nasty, it's family. No, it's a great smell. It's great. Bacon tobacco would be interesting. Anyway,
interesting blend. Yeah.
Chosen One says Culver's is the best fast food. Those cheese curds are the bomb. Then double bacon butter bigger. I think you meant burger is delicious, but you got to eat them there though. Similar to In-N-Out. I went to Culver's a couple times.
I do like the cheese curds though.
I've not had those, but everything else.
Damn, I love
like,
those cheese curds. I like the burger too though.
Swazman says, I like Midwestern restaurant Steak and Shake chili cheese fries. They use shoestring potatoes there for their fries there. Oh, that sounds good. Suffering A's fan says, hey, on a side note, can we change my name to Confused A's fan? Because I don't know what to think about my team anymore. Well,
in what aspect? Because there's a lot of ways you could go with that.
Well,
where like
I don't see
the team
why
moving.
What's changed? You're still suffering. So no, we don't. We just don't change texter nicknames willy nilly. Yeah, so I am resistant to that idea because I think you're still suffering. I really do.
Yeah, I suppose.
King of Canton says the best home food smells are spaghetti sauce on the stove, chocolate chip cookies in the oven. No, you're not wrong about the cookies. Not wrong about the cookies. You know what else is a good smell? I enjoy the smell of a nice pot roast in a crock pot. You know who really loves that? Dogs.
I'm sure.
You are inviting a dangerous Christmas Story situation where the dogs run in and take the turkey off the table. I got dogs that will get up on counters and help themselves with a plate and some forks. That's how smart Bebo is. And, you know, that is a dangerous thing when we've got a roast in the crock pot around here.
Yeah. My thing is I have cats. Anything. I like shrimp. So sometimes I'll make the shrimp stir fry.
Yes. Cats will go after that.
They go insane.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and then you know what? Also, hard-boiled eggs. My dog Buddy just goes crazy for it. He forgets all his manners once he hears clack clack of an egg being cracked. He just
really,
because we've trained him. You stay right there out of the kitchen. You're not allowed to be in here. And so he's like, eggs don't care. There's a chance. There's never a chance, but he thinks there's a chance. So yeah, there's a lot of food that smells great, you know, except for here's the thing though. That's the thing. That's how you know the difference. Dogs like stuff that smells. Every time I open the fridge after my wife has hard-boiled some eggs, she goes, "It's not me, it's the eggs." I'm like, honey, I never would have thought that smell was you. you know the smell that the hard-boiled eggs put off right after you boil them, you know, and they're cooling down or whatever. Yeah, I didn't think that was you busting ass, hon. I just I know an egg when I smell one, but I guess if I was mean about it, I could whoo-wee, honey. But I'm not. I don't think I've ever done that. Suffering A's fan says, "All right, that's fair. Mostly because I don't know if I should be excited that they're finally spending money. I saw that. They are spending money, which you're not used to. And you got to be, if you're an Oakland resident, pissed about, because now they're spending money that you never get to see in action in person. But yes, he says, yeah, it should be exciting. They're spending the money, or I don't even know if I should be happy about it, even if the only reason is it's happening so the Players Association doesn't sue them. Well, there's always that. If you're going to keep being a fan of the team, be happy about it. But boy, anybody who tried to love them through the leaner years and through the bad times, which was super duper extra pissed about that.
Roughly nearly 30 years.
Yeah.
By the way.
Super duper extra pissed about that. Bat Flipper says Rally burgers are good. Ooh, and Lenny burgers are great.
Yeah. I also like the Rally fries.
Yeah, I haven't had Rallies in a long time. Big George says, hello, gentlemen. Hope you're doing well. Crazy stuff going on here in Southern California. Don't worry about Big George. He's in San Diego, so he's not that close. I mean, San Diego, and look it on the map. The Los Angeles versus San Diego. He might get some of the smoke, but he's fine. But he says one of my coworkers at the law firm had to evacuate, and her son's school burnt down. Pacific Palisades is a hellscape. Yeah, there's a school there where they made Teen Wolf and a bunch of TV shows. There's a place where they go shoot, high school scenes all the time. Burnt to the damn ground. He said the Eaton fire's tearing up Altadena and Pasadena as well. There's a fire in Silmar and a new one in Acton. This is awful. Pray for everyone affected by the fires. Or, as Arizona has done, we'll send firefighters.
Yeah.
In this,
and if there's a chance to donate to help some people out, and you have the means to do it, I would do that.
I would probably put the list, go help, donate, and then prayer, because you might be helping to answer somebody else's. Hamilton Porter says, has anyone checked on the Rose Bowl yet? Well, it's there, and they're housing animals from what we heard, Hamilton Porter. They're housing large animals is what we saw. So, all right, we got to take a break. When we come back, a couple more random sports things, and we'll move on to some more NFL stuff. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do
Let's play something, Grandma.
became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This new year, get started on your next success with University of Maryland Global Campus. Apply by February 12th and get your application fee waived. An accredited state university, UMGC offers online and hybrid classes, along with more than 135 degrees and certificates in in-demand fields like business, cybersecurity, healthcare, and more. Gain the skills and credentials you need to achieve your career goals. Get your application fee waived through February 12th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
All right, so there we were, cruising through the new open-air zoo when I realized that the park was closing in like 15 minutes. That's when the afternoon took an exciting turn. Luckily, we were in my Nissan Rogue. With its powerful DC turbo engine, well, we had more than enough time to see all the animals. Whoa! And outrun a few!
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now, Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000 MSRP. Shop at your local Nissan store or at nissanusa.com. 2024 Nissan Altima, Kicks, Leaf, Rogue, Sentra, and Versa. All prices are manufacturer's suggested retail price. Manufacturer's suggested retail price excludes destination and handling charges, tax, title, license, and options. Dealer sets actual prices.
With all the school supplies your child will need over the years, it can be easy to overlook the most important one of all, money, which is a good reason to open an AZ 529 education savings plan. Whether you invest $15 or $150 a month, your money grows tax-free. By the time your little one is ready for college, vocational school, or workforce training, they'll have all the savings they need to get the job of their dreams. Visit az529.gov to get started.
This message is sponsored by the Office of the Arizona State Treasurer.
Let's say you've got questions. You're looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Well, Harmon Solar has the answers. Hi, I'm Jeffrey O'Brien, and listen, there's a couple of ways you can go here. One, visit harmonsolar.com, browse around, because right across the page, they got links to all sorts of great information, like frequently asked questions, equipment, tax credits, even testimonials. Or just give them a call, 800-281-3189. Ask them directly. They'd love to hear from you. That's 800-281-3189. Or just go to harmonsolar.com.
So, what's your favorite thing about sports? The excitement, the action, or the 5-meat pizza and the 6-pack?
Bingo. That's what we thought.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. I don't know if you saw this, but on Sunday, the Hershey Bears hockey team did their annual teddy bear toss and broke their own record again. Fans, if you don't know what this is, fans show up with stuffed animals and then toss them on the ice after the home team scores their first goal. And then I think that they all go to charities, like 35 different charities. But last year, they had 75,000 stuffed animals. This year, crushed it, 102,343, which means every person in the place brought like 5-6 of them and just start chucking it on the ice. I mean, it's a strange way of doing things. You know what I mean?
It's strange, but it's memorable enough so you can get people to do that, because those stuffed animals do go to kids in bad situations who could probably use the comfort and all that. So yeah, I think it's a weird way of doing it, but it's very effective in terms of getting people to show up and help out.
I don't know how many local kids there are, but 102,000 teddy bears. Oh, that's going to go a long way. Anyway, so that was cool. That was nice. Quiet Cannon says, listen, if you're a French fry lover, you need to go to Five Guys. Their burgers are also good, but their French fry proportions are prolific. I've been there. I don't remember. Maybe I didn't have the French fries there. You know, I don't like thick fries. I like skinny, greasy, salty fries. If it's not skinny, if it's not salty, yeah, I can live with that greasy if I had to, because the In-N-Out fries aren't necessarily greasy, but it has to have 2 of the 3 requirements for me. So that's why I always ask at a restaurant when I'm getting a burger. They're like, "We have fries." I'm like, "Well, okay, what are your fries like?" "They're thick. Give me some chips." I don't.
I like the thick fries too, though.
Yeah. Yeah. And people are like, well, for an Irishman, you sure have a lot of conditions on potatoes. I'm like, you mind your own business.
Because you're also an American, which means, you know.
What was your first date with your girlfriend there? What was how did you meet online? Did you meet at a bar? Did you, community service?
We met online, and then we met up at a coffee shop.
So coffee, that's not a bad first date. Coffee date. Yeah, that's very grown up of you. It's very metropolitan. It's very New York. You know what I mean? So let's get some, or Seattle. Anyway, well, there's no recipe for the perfect first date. My wife and I's first date was at a Thai food restaurant, Thai Smile, and it was nice.
Oh wow! Yeah.
But I saw this and I thought about Randy. You know, I don't know how he first dated his wife Kim, but man, I bet if he could combine some things, he would have done it. If he knew this existed, he would probably tried it. Speed dating, the Daytona 500, and Busch Light beer. Hear me out.
Sounds fascinating.
Yeah, Busch Light has just announced a contest called Daytona. Daytona, where 8 lucky single people will get the chance to go on a date at the Daytona 500. So here's what happens. You get to speed date while you're being driven 1 lap around the track by a trained driver. It's not during the Daytona 500, a few days before, but still they're throwing in tickets for the race too. So they'll pay for the airfare, the hotel stay, for the whole dating thing. But you're going to have to cover your accommodations if you're going to stay for the race a few days later. If all this seems like a good idea to you, you can apply online at busch.com/Daytona.
They're asking you provide some basic information along with a pitch why yourself and your whatever should be allowed to do. Can't be more than 255 characters, but deadline January 21st. So you got a couple weeks to sort this out. By the way, you know how to spell Busch beer?
BUSCH.
There you go. That's bush.com/Daytona. Speed dating thing happens February 12th, 2 days before Valentine's. And then the Daytona 500 is that Sunday. For what it's worth, finalists will have to go through a background check. So if you got everything bad in your past, don't bother. Just probably skip this one. But for everyone else,
enjoy if you can. If you
why
make
not?
it.
Why not?
It's at least a fun story, if nothing else.
I wish I had a playoff game to go to. You could go to a playoff game, if you could, find the tickets and the airfare and the hotel and the time off. I mean, that's the only thing that's stopping.
The only thing stopping me is just about everything. But yeah, no, I mean, I could go to Tampa Bay.
I don't have. I got no game to go to.
Some seasons are like that.
Yeah, Randy has no game to go to.
I mean,
Ralph
most
has
of my
no game
seasons
to go
have been like that. So,
although Ralph could go to the Rams game.
That's true.
Well, if you're gonna go, say to see the Chiefs, okay, they've got some new food. They're coming out with it just for the playoffs. At Arrowhead, the Chiefs will have touchdown toast, which is a massive brick of French toast with berry sauce and some vanilla ice cream. That sounds pretty good.
That does sound pretty good, except
take your diabetes back to your seat, sir.
I mean, I guess the Chiefs are off this week. They've got the bye, but it ain't going to be cold in Kansas City. I don't know if I want to have ice cream at that particular stadium. That
might
day.
be a good point. Might be a good point.
Like
But
that's a warm food kind of.
The touchdown toast will probably warm up the ice cream enough to where it'll help melt it.
That's true.
And if you go to Lincoln Financial Field to watch the Eagles, you could have the pretzel JAWN. I don't know if it's Pretzel Jan or Pretzel John.
Pretzel John.
You've heard of it.
Well, no, I just know what that word is.
What is that word? I never heard that word.
It's just I don't even know how to. What's the context of that?
I don't know. Pretzel John. I've never heard of that. Never seen that word in print.
I've never heard it in combination with pretzels, but it's like a I don't know. It's like you could use it in place of the word thing, I guess.
Okay.
So
it's a pretzel thing.
Yeah.
I think pretzel thing was a better seller.
Probably, but I mean in Philly, they say it a lot in Philly. So it's more of an East Coast thing, but they say it's
so
more,
hey, I got a car John over here. I mean, I got a car thing. I got a car John.
Yeah, I mean,
God,
you'd almost use it in
Are they stupid?
No,
seems stupid.
No, it's not. It's not bad.
Feels stupid.
Nah, it's just I don't know. It's just a word I don't know. It's just a word they use. I don't know what you want me to say.
Made up this word. All right. Well, it's a big pretzel in the shape of the Eagles logo, and it comes with 3 sauces, including a green mustard. Green mustard seems like it'd be an abomination, but all that is food coloring.
Yeah.
And then the Texans, they're offering the Bigger in Texas tamale at NRG Stadium, but meat, chili sauce, salsa, whatever. It's just tamales are like about that big. And so this one's probably like about that big. They all should be about that big. I don't know why they make tamales so damn small. I feel like tamales should be bigger.
Tamales should be bigger. I mean, they're great. What would be better than that is more tamale.
I would probably campaign on that. That I think tamales should be bigger. You can come at me with the economy. You can come at me with, border stuff. You can come at me with anything you want. But my thing I'm going to go back to is, let's get these tamales up to a bigger size.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, tamales are a little bit like a deck of cards or a sunglass case. I want to see notebook-sized tamales. Tell me I wouldn't win in a landslide with that.
I would find it hard to believe that you'd lose there. Yeah.
Yep. Hamilton Porter says, can we all agree crinkle cut fries should go away? Yeah, I don't like those. I don't know why it would bother you. I mean, a fry with crinkle cut versus straight, it's the same thing, isn't it?
It is. I don't have a problem with
it. A little crunchier, maybe.
I'll eat them.
But yeah, I don't have a preference other than, I mean, fine skinny fries that are crinkled, so it's not going to affect me.
Yeah, I just need the fries to be kind of crunchy a little bit.
Magnificent Mr. Mormon says Five Guys is so overrated. Well, why don't you try just like one or two guys at a time? I mean, listen, I'm not going to tell you about your kink. He's talking about the hamburger place. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
He says it's super expensive. It costs nearly $20 for just a combo. Also, I don't like the name.
I like the burgers, but they are too expensive. And their fries, they give you a lot of them, and it does feel like they're giving them away for a reason. I'm not a big fan of Five Guys fries.
Good point. Walter Mellon says Five Guys is trash. All around, burgers and fries included. In and out, double fries, well done. Bam, that's the best.
Like a Five Guys burger is a grease ball of a burger, but I enjoy it, so I don't know what to tell you. I just do.
Moldy Tuna Fish says, Keon, if you change your mind, I hear that Jessica Alba is back on the market after 17 years of marriage. I myself am getting ready. Well, he's got a girlfriend, Moldy Tuna Fish.
I'm not going to change my mind about her. I love her. I'm good.
Jessica Alba or your girlfriend?
My girlfriend.
Okay,
I don't love Jessica Alba because I don't know her.
She's like a billionaire, you know.
I don't know.
Just saying. I mean, I'm not saying that's a reason. She might. She's probably, as they say, a lot.
Look, if I was single, then I'd be like, well, all right.
Where's the line form?
How do I accidentally bump into Jessica Alba? But that's about it. I'm not, so I don't care.
Handcuffs will follow.
Yeah.
Just the Tip says Tamale store on Cave Creek Road in Greenway can order giant tamales. If you want to weigh 400 pounds in a week, boom, get there. Yeah, and listen, I'm not going to do it all the time. Just when the tamale time comes, I feel like I'd like a little bigger. That's all. Slow-Mo Zoe says fries with malt vinegar, the bomb. Fair enough. Bear Claw says, I just tuned in. La Fiesta has the best tamales in case maybe you have one near you. Decent size. I don't even know what La Fiesta is. I mean, I get it. It's probably a place where I can get tamales, but I'll look it up. Thanks for the tip. Taco Kenny says, what a burger.
I like their fries too. And the spicy ketchup's nice.
I don't know about their fries. I do like their burgers. They're not bad. Not bad at all.
Well, I think their fries fall into your criteria of fries you like.
Well, I don't remember if I've ever had their fries.
They're skinny and they're crunchy fries.
Oh, yeah. Now, see what we've done.
Yeah, we've made ourselves hungry is what we've
done. We
got
2 more hours before we can do anything. You guys can eat while listening. We can't go off and eat for 2 more hours. You know, even if we had the food in front of us, you know, we just and then we'd have to talk again. So we're going to have to try to stop talking food for 2 hours. I think is a good idea right now. Bullseye says, I'm a sucker for a good tamale. My favorite tamale is from a little place in Tucson. I mean, Bethlehem. You know, I've been told there's great Mexican food down there. And I'm like, well, how far off the freeway? Because my wife and I stopped at a place that's just barely off the freeway. It was barely edible. So then I'm just like, okay, if I'm going to risk my life, it better be good. You know, when I say risk my life, you go into Tucson, oh my God, you could just step out of your car and get a hypodermic needle in the leg. There's people in meth stumbling across the streets and into traffic. There's just it's bad. It is, and you think I'm exaggerating. If I am, it's just a little teeny bit. It's bad in Tucson. Tucson's bad. Big Jake says Whataburger green chili double fire.
It is. It is.
Just a Tip says, I don't know Raquel Welch, Claudia Cardinal, or Anne Margaret. I'm taking a diamond ring to my first date with any of them. Oh, I see what you're saying. You'd be arrested almost immediately.
Yeah.
And I believe all 3 of those are elderly or dead. But you go. You go, Just a Tip. You go. Devil Hawk says, would you ever take your show on the road to Tucson? Hell no. Hell no. Not a chance. There's 0% reason I would. The only way I would is if ASU says, hey, can you broadcast live from the bleachers while we stomp the bleep out of these guys? And even then I'd be like, do I gotta?
Big Jake says, nasty city, super dirty, tweakers everywhere. I know. I wasn't exaggerating with that part, was I? Spend any time a quarter of a mile off the freeway, you'll see what I'm talking about. All right, when we come back, let's switch gears. Let's just talk some NFL and stuff. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Terms and conditions apply.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do
Let's play something, Grandma.
became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
So this new dose is, nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sports show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Did you know that daily multivitamins boost your health on the inside and the outside? It's true. Multivitamins with folic acid boost energy levels, improve your mood, and promote overall wellness. And if you decide to have a baby, they can help prevent birth defects in a pregnancy. That's why the Arizona Department of Health Services is offering a free 3-month supply of multivitamins. Visit azdhs.gov/PowerMe-A2C for free vitamins.
Sponsored by the Arizona Department of Health Services.
The GCU men's basketball squad is coming off their winningest season in 35 years, their third trip to the NCAA tournament in 4 years, and their first ever NCAA tournament victory. Returning 4 of their 5 starters in Ray Harrison, Colin Moore, Duke Brennan, and reigning WAC Player of the Year, Tyon Grant Foster, the Lopes look to defend their WAC titles and make a run to the Sweet 16. With a non-conference slate, including Stanford, Georgia, and crosstown rival Arizona State, you won't want to miss a moment of the action. So join me, Michael Potter, and Lopes insider Paul Coro all season long right here on the home of the Lopes, 1580 The Fanatic. Lopes up.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
What?
Showtime. When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody. It's, 4 o'clock. It's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. He'll be back tomorrow. We got Keon Rose in the control room. Ralph from Harmon Solar just jumped on. We also got you guys on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And, okay, so more movement, more stuff isn't happening on the coach and GM searches across America as the NFL. Not that many people got fired. You feel like more people should have been fired. There are a
couple of survivors.
Yeah, my team should have fired some people, didn't, and I feel like the Giants probably should have fired some people and then didn't. But the Titans are firing everybody. Titans, they got rid of their GM, and then they're like, anybody who's got like a nice office is getting fired. They fired the vice president of team operations, Brent Akers.
Vice President of Football Technology, Anthony Pastrana, Assistant GM, Anthony Robinson, and then Senior Director of Security, John Albertson. And I'm like, wait, what? Why would you?
What did he have to do with anything?
What did he do? I mean, yeah, did somebody get through? I mean, that one struck me as odd. I mean, nobody is safe with the Tennessee Titans. So he probably is one of those things where he was friends. He was a hire of one of those other guys that got fired.
Maybe. But I will say that they decided to keep the coach, which tells me that they believe that it's not his fault, that the team is not good as a result of the general manager, not because of the coach.
I don't know how the security guy plays into all of this.
I don't know how that works
yeah,
either.
He's gone
I'll
too,
be honest.
so.
I'll be honest.
888-368-1580. So yeah, that is no, there's some job openings in Tennessee if you're looking. I also see that the Raiders are one of the teams that's been reaching out to Bill Belichick. He's come out today and said he ain't going anywhere. He's sticking with his college gig, as I thought he would. That would be a super bad look to take that job and then go, just kidding, bye. Just because the NFL finally gave you a phone call.
Well, he can spend time with his girlfriend. Doesn't she go to school there?
That's what I'm thinking. He can pick her up from school.
She is graduated.
Maybe she's in graduate
at this
school then.
point.
Oh, I thought she was in high school.
No, no.
She's so young. So
that's true. Yeah.
So yeah, Bill Belichick sticking with the college thing going on there.
Yeah, he's recruiting in New Jersey, actually, right now.
Still enjoying that the Cowboys are like Jerry Jones is like, let me tell you, Mike McCarthy can go talk to anyone he wants. The Bears are like, hey, can we talk to Mike? No, you go to hell. They just he's not letting it happen. They're rejecting requests that people are putting out. Why anybody wants to talk to Mike McCarthy? Boy, do you got to be A, desperate, B, sitting on a lot of gift cards to fast food. And so yeah,
obviously if you just fired your coach, you were at least a little desperate. That's how you got here. So
if your desperation's like, we're going to fire the coach, well, who are we going to call? Well, there's Mike McCarthy. It's like, don't fire the coach then.
He's a Super Bowl winner. So the thing is, like, he's all. I know. I personally believe Aaron Rodgers carried him to that Super Bowl.
Aaron Rodgers is a Super Bowl winner.
Well, then he should go coach the Jets.
But
let him go coach the Jets.
Well, he got carried to a Super Bowl by prime Aaron Rodgers. This guy ain't carrying anybody anywhere. And in fact, if you were a good coach, he might carry you backwards.
He could barely carry himself
to being fired, like Robert Saleh. So I think that, like with McCarthy, like that, it doesn't. I understand, like you can be skeptical of the Super Bowl ring, but that does carry a lot of weight with a lot of general managers, especially if you've hired a coach and you've missed on one already. It's much easier to sell the owner on the guy that's won a Super Bowl before. Whether you believe that he was responsible for it or not, you can sell the owner on that. And that helps you keep your job.
Because owners are stupid.
But maybe you just can't hold Dallas against him. Who's been successful in Dallas besides Jimmy Johnson?
I mean,
and I don't count Barry Switzer because he was just Jimmy Johnson's retread.
Well, yeah. I mean, and with McCarthy, like I don't even really hold it against him. It's just that when he's coached at Dallas, like it hasn't been impressive, but it also hasn't been bad. He took over a roster that people thought, well, they could probably go a little bit further. They could do a little bit better. And they've done about the same thing that they did under Jason Garrett. Like Garrett wasn't completely unsuccessful too. He had I think he was like 12 or 13 games above 500 when they fired him, and they went to the playoffs 3 times and they won the division 3 times. They just didn't do anything when they got there. And that pretty much is also the story with McCarthy in the 5 years he's been there. They won the division a couple of times. Didn't really do anything when they got to the playoffs.
Maybe that's a Dak issue.
I don't think it is necessarily, because I think Dak is a good enough quarterback that if you build a good team around him, then you can have some success. But
I have a lower Dak issue. I just
lower Dak.
I'm sorry. Every team can't have Josh Allen. You get lucky and you get that guy. Everybody else is going to have to figure out how to make it work with average quarterbacks, and teams have figured this out. The Vikings are in the playoffs right now with Darnold. So you can't just say it's a Dak issue and then throw your hands up in the air and move on. You're the coach. If you've got a guy who's good enough, elevate him. That's your job.
I heard did you hear Pete Carroll was interviewing with the Bears tomorrow?
I was getting to it.
Oh, okay.
Scratch me because says if any team hires Mike McCarthy, they need an assistant head coach in charge of clock management. That's what they'll need. Well, food management.
With the Bears, the last guy they had also needed a clock management guy. I mean, Eberflus basically
management
got fired on Thanksgiving by losing a game that, I mean, maybe they wouldn't have won the game anyway, but they were close. They could have won it if he hadn't let all the time run out.
I mean, do you think the Cowboys are keeping him?
No.
I
think because they had plenty of time. I think if they can get him cheaper, they will. I don't know why you would try and cut corners and spend less on a head coach. There is no salary cap for a head coach. And if you like the guy, you should just go ahead and pay him. But for whatever reason, Jerry's screwing around with this, and I don't get it because they've had the entire last season to pay him.
Mm-hmm.
They could have extended his contract at any time in the last year, and now they have until I think the 14th to get this thing done with him.
Yep.
Why wait this long? I don't get it.
He loves playing games.
Well, good.
So here's
You're
the
not
thing.
winning Super Bowls.
Ralph, you're right. The Bears are interviewing anything and everybody and everyone. They don't even give a damn. Now, I think it's great. Pete Carroll is a great coach. I have no complaints against him. He's getting up there in years. He's 73 years old. But they are interviewing him tomorrow. So yeah, the Bears are interviewing everyone though.
But I think Pete Carroll would be smart. He could change their culture quickly. And that's what you need, is somebody to come in and change that culture first. And I think he'd be a perfect bridge to somebody else.
And or maybe if he's able to hire, the right coordinators, that already can help, because this team already has a great defense. He's built great defenses. And we know what Pete Carroll's culture can do. I mean, look at Dan Quinn in Washington. Like, Dan Quinn is from the Pete Carroll coaching tree. And like right away, that team went from being that could be a pretty fun team to, oh, that's a playoff team. Wow, didn't know they could do that fast. Pete Carroll's the guy that hired Dan Quinn, so I think he's the original. I think that you add that to that defense, you add that to that young quarterback. If Pete Carroll can find the right offensive coordinator to help out Caleb Williams, I don't think the Bears are that far off.
I agree.
Just a tip, is that true? He says Dable is a good coach, but the GM is married to the owner's daughter. He says that's the problem, if I'm correct. What? Well, that explains why he didn't get fired, if that's true.
That does explain that.
Is it true?
I think Dable is a good coach.
No, not the part about Dable being a good coach.
No,
he's a good Kevin James impersonator, but I don't know if he's a good coach.
No, he's a good coach.
Dable's a solid coach. Look at what Dable was coaching. Dable was coaching the team that had Saquon and gave him away.
Guy. He just, way too much.
Probably too much, but he was coaching a team that had Saquon, but then didn't have Saquon.
Right.
Probably one of the 5 worst offensive lines in football. Yeah. Daniel Jones, and then all the quarterbacks they had to start after they cut Daniel Jones. Yeah. Malik Neighbors was injured for like half the year, and then the other receivers, we'll just be honest, they suck. The defense, that defensive line is actually a dominant force of a defensive line, but literally every part of the defense, from the linebackers on back, useless. The Giants just suck. Like, you can blame Brian Dable if you want, and maybe the greatest coach of all time could step in and elevate that roster from a 4-win football team to a 7-win football team. But we're talking a matter of degrees here. That roster is bad.
Dable,
and Joe deserves to be fired.
Whatever. But the GM being married to the owner's daughter,
that does seem like a problem.
I wouldn't go near that team with a 10-foot nothing. Bear Claw says Del Taco has very underrated double cheeseburger, and their fries are good. Your taco place, stay with tacos. I hate all this cross-food nation. Scratch Me Because says Bears better not be interviewing Kenny Dillingham.
Kenny.
Why would they?
They're not.
Well, I said they're interviewing everyone.
Okay, fair enough.
I meant in football, Scratch Me Because.
At the NFL level.
But now, thank you for giving me something new to worry about.
I think they're even interviewing the OC from the Cardinals, which is insane.
Oh, yeah.
Drew Petzing?
He's Disney villain Drew Petzing.
That guy doesn't deserve an interview for a head coach.
Dime store Jeff Bezos, Drew Petzing. Quiet Cannon says, is it true Mike McCarthy has an assistant coach in charge of the food that travels with the team? I would imagine so, yeah. I mean, if that's what you want to call a baby carriage, you can just carry it all like that. That'd be easier. Just a Tip says, love my Giants, but you're right. They suck. He says, Keon, greatest line ever from you. I think he's probably had better than that. Big George.
Maybe, I don't know.
Big George says Pete Carroll would be a good hire for the Bears. Belichick would be too. I hear Bill might go to the Raiders, though. He's not going anywhere, George.
No.
He's not going to the Raiders. He's staying with the college team. That would be such a bad look if he did that. Seabass says, Breaker Blender crew, do you read me? I just completed a 10-100 here in snow-covered Kansas City. Time to hit the road again. Just wanted to say hi. Over. Hi, Seabass. Historian says, what do the Dallas Cowboys do after winning the Super Bowl? They turn off their Xbox. Yeah, that's it. That's the only way. That is the only way. Bullseye says, hey, Rolf. He calls you Rolf.
So I'm German.
ROLF. Hey, Drew Petzing is good offensive coordinator. Better than anything the Seahawks have.
Please. Well, they don't have one right now.
Yeah,
so
you just fired your OC.
You're
so
right now.
STFU, says Bullseye.
That's the only reason he's better than him right now.
Yeah. I might be bragging on that one, but so Vic Fangio, he's like, hey, I don't want to be a coach. I'm fine. I'm happy with the Eagles. I'm not looking to be a head coach again. It's like, hey, Vic, no one asked. Nobody's calling you. We know
the phone didn't ring. Let's be honest. The phone didn't ring at all.
He didn't say that on the phone. He walked on his front porch and just said it out loud because nobody's calling you, Vic Fangio, to be a coach. Not after what happened last time. Not after that.
You should be a defensive coordinator and nothing else.
So, all right, let me see if I can remember. You're a Seahawks fan.
I think so, yeah.
And who's your coach there?
Mike McDonald, very good coach.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Thrilled with him. I'm glad he fired our OC.
And on your other team, the Rams, it's Timothy McVeigh, and he's
oh no, jeez,
I don't know. What are you going to the playoff game to support your team?
I wasn't planning.
Your team
on it,
B.
No. Plus, they might move the game. I don't know.
Well, that's another thing. If they move the game, like here to Glendale,
they should move it here. That'd be awesome. I'd go.
I would bet they'll take it to Vegas. That's my guess. A lot of hotels. You know what I'm saying? There's more hotels right there.
Yeah.
I mean, either way, the weather's okay in either place.
They should move it here.
You're just saying that so you can go. You don't
of course.
even have a compelling reason why here is
because I
want to
go.
Vegas.
That's why.
that's the reason. Yeah.
The world doesn't just, exist at your beck and call, Ralph.
I just think it's going to be a really good game. I'd like to go watch it.
There's lives at stake, Ralph.
You mean the houses that are burning up?
It's not just about you, Ralph.
There's no lives at stake.
Oh, no, a couple people died.
Yeah, if they have the cop. No, the fireman died.
No.
The people get out.
No, I heard there's a couple other people that died. There's going to be a lot more tragedies in the days ahead.
Mostly animals.
Well, I don't care about that. I'm looking at the people.
What do you mean you don't care?
I don't care about that.
Listen,
we talked about this first hour. Here's the hierarchy. There's people. Then there's dogs. And then there's cows and pigs and chickens and emus and horses. And then if time permitting, cats. That's it. That's the hierarchy.
I agree with that hierarchy.
Oh, my God.
I do not like cats.
They're just right there at the bottom.
They bother me.
I like cats. I have
cats.
Like cats.
You have cats?
I do have cats.
Oh.
See, Ralph is now judging Keon for that answer. He doesn't know what to say next.
I'm being nice and not saying a thing.
He's like,
he has a right to like cats.
For the most part, I'm happy with them.
He likes cats more than he likes
there's like a 10% where you just come home and you see various things knocked off of shelves or packages that you had torn into by I don't know, just some cat that just decided I wanted to tear into that box because you had it, and now you've got packing peanuts all over the floor. It's just whatever. There's just one day in like every month you have a day where you're like, I should never have had you. I should sell you. I should just put you outside and never let you back in the house. I never
sounds like my
through.
Marriage.
I never follow through.
Right? Doesn't sound like your marriage. Sounds like my marriage.
That
really it's more than one day.
That really doesn't seem healthy. That's a healthy relationship to have with cats. That's not your spouse is probably.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. It ain't always like that. There's some parallels. Big George says they had just announced that the death toll is now 5.
Oh,
5
wow.
from the fires. So yeah, and I would imagine that's going to continue to rise because there's a bunch of people who are probably out there dead you haven't even heard about yet.
Probably.
Just
those fires are
terrifying.
wicked. I grew up in that area. I mean, those fires, they're bad. The way they move is ridiculous.
The videos you're seeing online are just like, oh my God.
Those fires just jump so fast and so hard. There's nothing you can do about it.
You see the video of the two dudes in that house, all the glass windows, and it's like the fires. Those dudes got to be dead, right?
If they didn't get out of there, yeah.
Because, that was just a wall of fire. I never seen anything like that.
Happens every year, and every year these guys keep rebuilding these homes up there. So
no, this doesn't happen every year. What is happening right now specifically doesn't happen every year.
Well, we get wildfires in LA all the time. Every year.
LA. LA gets like a little patch here, a little patch there. No,
you get brush fires.
Not
this is the Santa Ana's kicking up and doing brush fires. It happens every year. That doesn't mean it's a degree every year.
The scale of this is way bigger
there's
than
three.
we usually get.
That's right, because you got three going on. Usually you just have really one bad one. I lived there, and I remember sitting up on Mulholland looking out of LA and seeing fire up on the hillsides all around the valley. It's crazy looking. But, I mean, you get used to it up there.
Thundar the Santa Barbarian says, hey, Jeffrey, please tell Ralph that I helped him win the Blender Premier League Super Bowl by drafting Josh Allen and saving him from himself. Oh, and also, Dodgers won the World Series. So, and then he says nice things about him, which I will not continue. Hey, Thundar, how are you doing there? I know you're in California. Are you anywhere near all this mess? I'm glad you're all right. Just the Tip says the Ark saved chicken wings, pork chops, ribeye steaks, not soybeans. So I'm on God's side with this one. What is he talking about?
What the? He's talking about the animals.
No, I get it.
By the Ark.
No, he said anything about soybeans, Just the Tip.
Yeah.
No vegetarians here. T-Licious says, you guys, in In-N-Out, just stop. That place needs to go back to Cali and just stay there.
Why is that?
What's wrong with In-N-Out? I like it.
You love In-N-Out.
I like In-N-Out.
Yeah.
Don't tell me I love it. I like it.
You love it.
I like it.
Do you get
my
the secret
kids
stuff?
love it?
Do you get the secret stuff?
No, my kids do though.
You're supposed to.
I got some of that sauce and I tried it and I was like, yeah, I don't need it. T-Licious says, no bacon equals you suck. Wait a minute. Didn't even occur to me. In-N-Out doesn't have bacon?
No.
Communists.
Dirty,
filthy communists.
If I want bacon, I'll go somewhere else.
Go to Whataburger and get a bacon burger.
Never even thought about that. Never even noticed I was missing the bacon there because
that's because it's a good
bacon
burger.
on my own time.
Right. You don't put bacon on a burger.
If you have you do put bacon on a burger, but you don't have to. If the burger is good enough without the bacon, then it's just a good burger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can live without bacon on the burger, and the burger can be good without the bacon, but I do now miss the fact they have bacon on the burger that I had never had bacon on the burger before.
Then bring your own bacon.
I could do that. Scratch Me Because says, I showed up at the In-N-Out today at 2:15 in the afternoon, and I was still at least a dozen deep in line for the drive-through.
Yeah.
It's no lie. Even in Queen Creek. I can't believe we have one. T-Licious says, that's why you just go somewhere else, regardless. No, T-Licious, that's why you go somewhere else. Don't tell us what to do. You put your mouth on whatever meat you want to put your mouth on, and we'll put whatever meat we want in our mouths. Deal? Just made everyone else uncomfortable, didn't it?
Sometimes I want an animal style burger, and the fact that it does not come with bacon has never stopped me before.
Get a 4x4. Get a 4x4 animal style.
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right with it. I'm all right. All right, we got to take a break. We'll come back. More football on. I think it's all football from here out. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
We all know just because gifts for loved ones can look like flowers, a spa day, or maybe even planning date night. But what about something that will truly last and protect your loved ones along the way? I'm talking about life insurance. I called SelectQuote to secure our coverage and couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. With monthly payments less than the cost of a bouquet of flowers, this is the perfect time to make sure your family is protected.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-596-2626 or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-596-2626. 1-800-596-2626. Details on example rate at selectquote.com.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Terms and conditions apply.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, really? That's great.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
I can't have any more? Why not?
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
They're going to go nuts when he hits this thing.
It went in. The People's Open is back. See the PGA Tour's best tee it up at the 2025 WM Phoenix Open February 3rd through the 9th at TPC Scottsdale. Get tournament and ticket info at WMPhoenixOpen.com. WMPhoenixOpen.com. Saturday, it's NFL football on the Fanatic.
It's defense against offense when the Chargers line up against the Texans this Saturday at 2 p.m. The Bolts defense gave up a stingy 17.7 points per game during the regular season. The Texans, however, look to revive that stat when Nico Collins and C.J. Stroud team up for some high-flying offense. It's Chargers at Texans, Saturday at 2, live.
You're home for live NFL action, the playoffs, and Super Bowl 59. 1580 The Fanatic.
Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Beer Nuts is on the text line. Says, hello, gentlemen and sir. Have any of you tried the protein-style burger at In-N-Out? It's amazing. The burger with no bun, wrapped in lettuce. You really have to try it. No, I don't.
I've had it.
It's the only way I can eat it.
Yeah, I'm not like gluten-free. I ain't nut allergy. I ain't high maintenance like Ralph. I can eat just a regular damn burger.
It's not really a high maintenance thing because it's on the menu.
Medical thing.
You could just say, yeah, and also with Ralph is just gluten intolerance. But I usually get it just because it's just a few extra calories I don't have to eat.
Yeah, if I were still playing games on the Xbox, my gamer tag would be carb loading son of a bitch. That would be me. I'd run around shooting everybody with this spare tire here.
Mine's gluten free.
Scratch me because says in San Diego there's a restaurant called Slater's 50-50 Burger. Makes a burger out of 50% ground beef and 50% ground bacon.
Oh my gosh!
Talk about the
Heart
last
attack.
thing you eat before you die.
Yeah, that's a once a decade sandwich. You eat that once and go, Slater's will see you in 2044.
The wife was wanting to
2045.
go to San Diego. This might be exactly the reason to go. You can try me one of these. She is the person who turned me on to chorizo.
Ugh.
Chorizo's so good. And we went to San Diego once and she's like, hey, try this with your eggs. I'm like, all right, I'll have chorizo and eggs. And I was just like, where has this been my entire life?
Change your life. Will change your life.
Oh my God. And at an authentic place like that in San Diego, oh, what a wonderful experience. And then when I came home, I started eating chorizo burritos all the time. And she's like, whoa, that'll kill you. You can't do that. Like, what do you mean? I can just have it like once a week? She's like, I got once a month. I'm like, you're not my mom. And she says, yeah, but your mom won't do this. I'm like, all right, fine. Once a month. She's like, you're lucky it's not once a year. And I'm like, all right, so great. Introduce me to more things I can't eat, and
once a quarter meal. Yeah.
But if we're in San Diego and, her guard is down, we'll get over there to that place and I'll have the 50-50 burger. She's like, yeah, what's that? Oh, don't worry about it. In fact, I'll order for you. I'll just take the menu. So
she can't see that it's 50% ground bacon.
Just come over here. My wife will make you chorizo.
No,
she makes it all the time.
She makes good chorizo, huh?
She makes chorizo tamales even.
Ooh, oh, I never had one of those.
A little different.
Does she only do tamales once a year?
No, but she has a ton of them right now. She's been making them like crazy.
You got a chorizo tamale in your house right now?
I don't know if she did a chorizo one. She might have. I know.
Why are you not eating it right
she did
now?
The Barrios, the beef. What's that called?
I just learned that word the other day.
The birria?
Yeah, Barria. She made some Barria tamales.
Yeah.
She made a whole ton of, man. People are just begging her for tamales all the time.
I mean, it's understandable. They're tamales.
I'm not a big fan.
You're
Tamale
not
time of year is
Wait,
the best
don't.
time of
I'm
year.
going to pretend I didn't hear that.
No, just not a big fan. I mean, they're,
I'm going to pretend I did not hear that.
She's been making the green sauce and the red
I'm
sauce.
not a
and
big
all.
fan of tamales. What are you even talking about right now?
I know, right?
I don't even know. I don't even know what that means. You're saying the words, but my brain refuses to comprehend.
You just gave me a stomachache with those words. Let's see here. I can't read that on air, just a tip. I could read it on air. I could read it on air. But you just tell me I can read it on air, and I'll read it on air. Chief Skull says, "Afternoon, gentlemen, from snowy, cold Denver, Colorado." Hey, at least it's not on fire. And by the
It's
way,
all
he
about
says,
perspective, really.
Yeah.
it's pronounced Badia. This is a problem with. I'm trying to learn Spanish, and it's not going well.
No, I mean, I pronounced it the American way, which is to take a perfectly good word in Spanish and then bastardize it. So
Butcher it, yeah.
that's what I've done.
I had to reread the Seabass's next text because I thought it was going to be a thing that you get punched in the face over. But then I realized it's innocent. So hear me out. He says, "I'd like to eat one of Ralph's wife's tamales. Is it pork, beef, or chicken?"
She makes all of the above.
So he was like innocently just saying, "I'd like."
Yeah.
You know,
It sounded bad, but it's not.
It started out where you're like, "What the? Oh, okay."
But she makes all of them. So she makes pork, she makes beef, she makes chicken. She makes just ones with cheese on them, Mexican cheese. All different kinds.
I wish I were your neighbor.
I'm glad you're not.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't be able. I mean, a neighbor in a gated community you couldn't get into, but close enough where I could come over and get a tamale.
I'll bring you some next time I see you.
Devil Hawk says, "Don't kink shame the 4x4 animal style. Don't knock it till you try it."
It's good.
I don't need to try it. I know. I've had lettuce wraps. It's all right. Thundar Santa Barbarian says, "I'm in the Central Valley near Fresno, so kind of like Arizona, part of California. No fires here, thankfully. Used to live in LA, so hoping all my friends are safe there. Well, I'm sure everybody's trying to just remember if they paid their last insurance payment, I bet."
Yeah, no kidding.
T-Licious says, "And rally fries." I can't read what he says, but beat all other fries. T-Licious, why don't you take a break for a minute? Hefty Lefty says, "My parents are in Arcadia, but luckily south of the 210 freeway, so they should be safe from the fire. But my great aunt is in Sierra Madre," which, by the way, I know this in Spanish means mountain mama. But Sierra Madre, he says they had to evacuate really quick. Lots of old people in the foothills of Pasadena and Arcadia. Tough to evacuate them quickly. Yeah, tough to do anything quickly.
I
with
didn't
old
realize
people.
one of the fires was over there. Wow.
It's just, this is going to get worse before it gets better. The winds and the weather not going to be participating much, but well, I've seen these commercials and stuff on the on the social media, right? You're scrolling there, and I see this guy. He's like, "Hey, watch this," and he just sprays this white goo all over his house, and then he drives it. And then his house is the only house unburned in a big fire. So I'm like, well, why don't we have more of that? Why doesn't everybody just that on their house and everything's fine? Or has anybody actually done that where they whatever that white stuff is, shut up, moist one. But whatever that is,
everyone should have it.
If I were living in a neighborhood where I have a mansion, and I'm thinking, well, then I've got money, whatever that stuff is called, and I would the house, before I left, so I could come back and my house would still be there.
Yeah, but if you have that kind of money, the insurance claim looks really good because you can redo the entire house.
But I have stuff in the house. I like the house.
Yeah. Do they all keep it? I think I've heard some of those people keep stuff outside of the house.
Well, yeah, rich people always they've got a special place where they keep their real stuff.
So they don't care if
the real jewelry, the real documents and all that stuff.
And there are also people with more than one house.
Oh, it's true too.
The stuff you really, really like, you don't leave in the house.
But how do you choose?
And there's guys like me and you that be on the roof with a hose. Do you remember those guys are out there? They're doing
cigar in your mouth, going, "Come on, you son of a bitch!"
I've seen guys save their houses doing that.
Garden hose can only do so much, but I mean, you got to do something. Chief Skull says, "Bidia, Bidia, Bidia."
Yeah, I know.
Bidia.
I know how it's actually pronounced. But,
Bidia. I don't. I'm trying to learn here. Shut up.
By American R's, I'm going to pronounce them.
Am I saying it right? Bidia.
Is that the beef?
Mm-hmm. Spelled Birria.
I thought it was Badia.
Badia, and it's Badia. Badia.
Don't make me call my wife. I think he's wrong.
I can call my wife. I mean,
yeah, we got two
Badia.
Mexican wives.
You know,
your wife's Spanish?
She's from Mexico.
Oh, okay. Well, my wife's Spanish. Between the two of them, they'll get it right.
You'll get it somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, my wife's not like Spanish, like, listen to me with the list of the Castilian. She doesn't do that.
Well, let's hope not.
No. When I was in Spain, I was like, "Are you all right?" I mean, not her, but other people. I was just like, "Oh," and I thought every time somebody was talking to me with that lisp, I was just like, "Oh."
You thought everyone had a lisp?
I thought maybe something was wrong with some of them. Chief Skull says, "You said it right that one time in all of that." I don't know. Maybe your phonetic spelling ain't doing it. So is it Bidia? I don't know. Maybe do better.
I'm asking the queen right now.
Big George says, "I heard Steve Gutenberg was helping people." Yeah, we talked about that earlier. Camera guy came along and started talking to him, and they didn't even know who he was because they were very young. But then I was like, "Oh, that's Steve Gutenberg." So, yeah, everybody's helping out. And yeah, that police academy training finally coming in handy. Just Tip says, here's what he says, Ralph. He says, "Solar guy
Who's that?
bet me $100 a couple of years ago. Funds to go to Arizona Sports Angels. I bet the Cardinals. He chose the Seahawks. Did he ever pay?" If he said he did, he did.
I don't remember that.
I have no doubt he did if he said he would.
I barely remember yesterday. That's on purpose, by the way.
So you can forget bets and not pay. And
a lot of things.
Some poor kid sitting there without a ball going, "I wish people would pay their bets."
Neil is paying a bet to me. Actually, he lost a bet to me with the Seahawks saying they'd finish in last place. So he has to buy me an Arrowhead grill dinner. He's doing that next week.
Nice.
Come
You
here.
still owe me an Arrowhead grill
What's
dinner.
the name of that meat? Is it Badia? That meat that you make, the Mexicans.
Put her on the microphone.
No, you like Badia.
Tell her scale.
Say it again. Say it.
Birria.
Did you hear that?
Could you tell her to do it again slower?
Slower. Do it again. Remember, we're white.
Yeah.
Birria.
Well, there's no D in that. What are you talking about, Chief Skull? She did it with an R. Birria. Birria.
And Chief Skull's whiter than we are.
Birria. I don't know.
That's what it's called? You make tacos with,
ask her if I said it right just then.
She can't hear you.
Birria.
Birria. Yeah.
She sounds like one of the voices on those language learning tapes. She does have the voice for that.
She's a language learning tape voice?
Yeah. Birria.
Say it again.
Birria.
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 Birria. Oh, okay.
Now tell Jeffrey what you think about him.
Oh dear.
Birria.
I have to go.
I don't know why she had a problem with me. Her and I have a common enemy.
You have a common enemy?
Yeah. Silver Pop says Birria is Birria is pronounced without the spaces. Well, why was Chief Skull putting D's in there? T. Alicia says, "Sorry, I'm starving. Just ordered my dinner, so I'm good now." Brock Purdy contract chaos begins. Niners just cut Javon Hargrave. Okay, how are you connecting the Brock Purdy contract chaos to that? To Javon Hargrave?
Because you're going to owe some of these guys money in the next couple of seasons, so you need to start making room for when you have to pay Brock.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of there are going to be guys that are perfectly good football players
just getting traded or
released. Yeah.
Huh. I just saw a thing here that says NFL regular season viewership dipped by 2.2%.
Wow.
That doesn't sound right. Why would that maybe some of the matchups because there's other
But-
parts that have been exceeding.
Yeah,
That's weird.
I mean, there's some matchups that have been great, but like you can't go up in viewership every year.
Mhm.
Like even if you have a great year, it might just be 2% less than last year. That doesn't mean you've had a dip in quality or anything. It just means your standard is so high every year can't be up.
2.2% drop does sound a little high, though, doesn't it?
Excessive, yeah.
Went from 17.9 million people in 2023 to 17.5 million in 2024. But the 17.5 still 7% jump from 2022. So it went up and it kind of dipped just a
like
teeny
2% does not sound like that much to me when you consider how many people watch already.
Oh, I know why.
bit.
The Swifties stopped watching.
You think they stopped
They-
watching
they-
because
I think
they'd seen enough of
they
it?
got a new audience from it, and I think some of them probably dropped off because she wasn't on the camera every 5 seconds anymore.
Ralph, you say a lot of dumb things, but
I think it makes sense.
No, I think this might not be one of them.
Oh,
That
okay.
might have something to do with it. They watched and then they were like, I don't get it. And then they're like, well, okay, I don't need to see that anymore.
Right.
And she wasn't at as many games this year, I don't think.
Right. I bet
Didn't
you it had
seem
something
like
to do
she
with it.
was. Chief Skull says NFL viewership had to dip from all the different stream apps you had to watch games. I don't know if that would do it. Do you think? Oh, that's an interesting
Peacock
thought.
would do it.
I didn't get a new one for any of them. So
Chief Skull,
Yeah.
that's a very astute observation right there. And if you need me to pronounce astute for you, it's astute. See, I do English words great. Swave Dave says if you were shipped down from 2.2% NFL revenue up to 100.2%, now that's a good point. The money did go up, even if the viewership
I'm
dipped slightly.
sorry, it's not magic. You can't gain every year. that's not realistic. Like it just isn't. Some years you're going to drop a little just because that's just how math works. Like you can't maintain evenly every year, and you also can't go up every year. Some years are going to go down. As long as it's not like you go 1 year and it's a 10% dip, that's concerning because that
Corporate thought process, though, is it must always go up and at the cost of everything else. That's why that dude got shot in the head walking down the street. That's why the United Healthcare, but because why are they so heartless? Why are they so cruel? Why do they do all the things they do? Well, because the corporation,
the line got to go up. That's
yeah.
why.
And guess what? The NFL calls itself a nonprofit. They are all about profit.
How people afford to go to these games is beyond me.
Yeah,
I know.
It's unbelievable.
I make good money, and I'm like, I can't do that. It's all the time. That's crazy. It's
Yeah,
too expensive.
I would like it. I'd like to go to some more games, but yeah, it's hard to justify even if you have the money. You're like, I gotta pay this, and this. I got a TV in the other room. That's great.
Yeah, and that's like if you're thinking about going by yourself, if you bring a family, how do you manage to do that more than once a year?
I don't know how you do it. Even once a year, that's tough.
Even once, but
that's why the Suns owner is like such a hero, is because he has that value menu.
Well, he's got
You
a
go in
value
there
team
with.
also.
Yeah, they do. I'm not,
it matches the menu.
You can't say
put out-
he's going
he
to
put
hurt
out-
us. We already had this conversation.
Yeah, he put out the menu before he realized what the team was. So that's just-
It matches.
Yeah.
Jesus. Baria, Latina Leprechaun says, yes, you're saying it right now. It's Baria. You said it right, Jeff. Thank you. Last Optimist says that the viewership decreases are okay. Thinking is the NBA losing 50% over a decade type of thinking, Keon. Population grows, so viewership should go up to maintain percentage of fans and population. So what Last Optimist is saying, I'm sure they thought the same thing about the NBA when it started to kind of dip just a couple percent and then went.
But you don't lose 50% by dropping a couple every year.
It was the NBA
for 10 years. Yeah, they had
the
a
NFL
whole,
took its place.
Yeah, like they're losing market share to the NFL, and they were dipping more than 2% a year. Like and also you have to have back-to-back years of losses before you start getting concerned. One up and then 2% dip is not concerning. No, that's not how you get there. And also the NBA didn't lose 50% of its viewership in 10 years. That's crazy. What are you talking about?
Delicious has a pretty good. He says, yeah, I think that the drop was from week 18 and all the crappy matchups. I don't know if you could lose 2.2% in 1 week,
And
but
then
that's
we also
true. They were
talked
bad
about it
matchups.
earlier this year. How many, is this the most 3 and 4 win teams we've had in a season in a while? Like a lot of the teams were just bad. So then that led to more bad matchups and so on.
But I like the division matchups at the end of the season. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and also
works some things out,
and it gives you. It gives
well, in
you
some cases it can, but it doesn't always.
No, I know, but it made for a few really good games.
And again, at the very beginning, when they make these schedules, they don't have a clear picture of who's going to stank and who's going to be amazing. There are teams that have been amazing. We're like, whoa, where'd they come from? And then teams that should have been amazing, we're like, what the hell happened to them? So week 18, you're going to get what you get. We got some good. We got a lot of bad, but it was just, hey, luck of the draw, right? Luck of the draw.
How about you stop the international games that nobody wants to get up at 6 a.m. to watch?
That also would help.
I am all for that. You know what? Maybe that's where some of the 2.2% comes from.
I guarantee you that some of it.
Altogether, I think everybody's right. You take a little bit of everything, the streaming, you take the bad matchups, you take the this, you take that, and then you have the facts of life. I'm not just going to sing. I'm just going to go to break. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
We all know just because gifts for loved ones can look like flowers, a spa day, or maybe even planning date night. But what about something that will truly last and protect your loved ones along the way? I'm talking about life insurance. I called SelectQuote to secure our coverage and couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. With monthly payments less than the cost of a bouquet of flowers, this is the perfect time to make sure your family is protected.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-596-2626 or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-596-2626. 1-800-596-2626. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, really? That's great.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
I can't have any more? Why not?
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
In most countries of the world, Forte means door. United Forte Custom Doors, located in the Scottsdale Airport Design District, is now open with over 40,000 European doors, all in stock, ready for delivery, and at wholesale prices. Designers, contractors, builders, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Forte, Porte. Stop by to see and feel the quality at United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
My pain is considerable, but that prescription is dangerous.
The side effects of my medicine are worse than my condition.
I'm in recovery. I can't take those pills.
When faced with a health crisis, you shouldn't have to choose between risks.
At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our medical doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. Our naturopathic doctors can restore pain-free joint function and restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves immediate physical symptoms without having you take a bunch of pills. If traditional medicines aren't working, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
1580, The Fanatic.
Hey, Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. All right, Horn Ninja says happy hump day. Oh, you know I can't stand that. Quiet Cannon says, you know, the cost of attending and watching on TV, NFL games has increased. Maybe that accounts for some of the drop. Well, I don't think that the attendance drop is going to be parallel to TV drop. I think most of these stadiums are doing fine.
It's still the highest rated show on every network with multiple different games any given week. You look at the top 100 shows on NBC or the top 100 shows on ABC, like half of them, more than half of them, 3/4 of them are just NFL games.
Let me just take a moment here. I'm going to warn you. Might get political here in a moment. Brace yourselves. Swave Dave says, I don't like the fact that the NFL evening games don't start until almost 6:30 p.m. But I remember watching Monday Night Football in Michigan, and those darn games wouldn't get over until at least midnight, and you had to go to work the next day. Yeah, let me just remind everybody, we got a new president coming, and he better get it done. He better get it done. And here's what he better get done. The Sunshine Protection Act, which would stop the madness that is daylight savings crap. I don't want to change the clocks no more. And I know you're saying Arizona doesn't change the clocks, but everybody else around us does. And that F's up our viewership. It is great when we're on Pacific time, because then you watch Monday Night Football. It's over at like 8:30. You got time to, all right, whatever. But now it's like over at 9:30, and you're just like, oh, crap, got to go to bed now. And it's like, or you're falling asleep watching the game.
Yeah, the game goes to overtime. It's like 10.
You just say they had this thing has been going. First, Trump had it, and they didn't get it done. And then Biden had it, and they didn't get it done. But it's passed. It's ready to go. Somebody's got to be like, I'll sign that. Listen, before you sign off on calling it the Gulf of America, can you just sign that stupid bill so we don't have to change our clocks anymore? And please do it in the spring so we can be Pacific time. And because it's great for us. We get to see all the games at a reasonable time. We don't have to stay up so damn late.
That's going to get signed.
It better get signed.
So you want to be on Pacific time?
I'll vote for Trump another time. I'll vote for him 3 times.
Well, do you want to be on Pacific or do you want to be on Mountain?
I want to be on Pacific time. That's all I care about.
It's Jeffrey's strongest political issue.
I've been complaining
That's your
about
strongest
this.
issue. That's pretty sad.
That's my only issue. I don't have any other issues.
You must live in a cave.
I'm rich. I don't care. Everything's fine.
I'm rich. I don't care. Wow.
I just want the clocks. I just don't want to have to be sitting there going, oh my God. Overtime? I want to be happy about overtime. Don't you want to
live
be happy?
on the East Coast?
Huh?
Didn't you live on the East Coast at one point?
No, I've always been out here.
I did. It sucked when those games would start so darn late,
Listen,
like 9 to midnight.
This is not about them. This is about us.
It's about us. Okay.
Change the law.
Change the law. Okay.
In April. We're good. I'll you know what? I'll vote for him to have a 3rd term if he does that.
That's how important it is to you.
I mean, it's just mildly annoying, but like I said, I don't have anything else, in my life that bothers me. Is there something else I should be worried about?
No.
It depends on who you are.
Yeah, everything's good.
Okay. Slow Mo Zoe says, the Premier League had 3.2 billion. That is up 6%. I think he's not talking about our fantasy football. I think he's talking about the soccer. Right. And we're calling it soccer, so suck it. Just a Tip says, had a naturopath for 40 years. Love the ad. No idea what you're talking about. And not even just the way I usually say that. I literally have no idea what you're
We
talking
have a
about.
naturopathic doctor ad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we do?
Yeah. It was an ad that just played.
Last Optimist says, went and looked up the NBA viewership numbers that I was referencing. They were for the finals, not the regular season, which has also lost viewership, not as dramatically as the finals, but between 2015 and 2024, average viewership for the NBA finals has almost halved.
Yeah. And
according to Statista.
I think with the finals, it just kind of just depends on the matchups too. You end up with and also the NBA kind of did that to themselves. Like this to me is not an issue of like, well, they weren't watching the small percent dropping, but when you drop by half, like you have to look at what happened, because it's not something that, well, if we were just paying attention when it was 2%, because a drop in 50% over 10 years is more than 2% a year, right? Yeah. So what's happened, I think, in the NBA is they never really promoted small market teams. So now we've had more small market teams, or at least some of the non-traditional finals teams make it to the finals a lot. We've seen the Denver Nuggets do it. Well, they don't have a massive fan base because you never really marketed it. You keep hunting for the Lakers and the Celtics, which is cool when it happens, but it can't be the thing you look for every year. Because guess what? You got a 30-team league. So there are 28 other teams that feel like you don't even care that they exist. So when they do make it to the finals or make it close, like no one's watching because you've never said that those teams matter.
Has the regular season dropped as well?
The regular season has dipped, but not anywhere near half. The finals.
I wonder if there's a bunch of people just died.
No, you see a lot of stuff online where people that are like they're anti-NBA all of a sudden. They don't like the game. the way it is today.
Yeah, and
I've
then
seen
like
that a
that's
lot.
true. Like the game has changed a lot, and like there are people
I don't know
who,
that we're
who
still
li-
talking NFL.
who like that. But yeah, like I think it's a little bit more than just because you don't panic over every 2% dip. That's what causes you to lose 50% in viewership. I don't think that quite tracks.
Big George says, Jeffrey, you're in luck. Trump says he's going to sign the Sunshine Protection Act and the rest of the country will be on permanent daylight savings. Well, that depends on when he signs it. Right? It depends on when he decides.
From what I
it's
read,
happening.
the state could choose.
Well, I know, but see, we don't move. Arizona doesn't move.
Yeah, but I'm saying we
I
could.
feel like whatever it stops in, then we're going to stop in. I want to stop when it's on Pacific time, not when it's on Mountain.
Yeah, I'm saying that even if it was on Mountain, the state could choose to say, all right, Pacific is what we prefer,
I
and
don't
that
wanna
is
leave it up to Arizona.
okay. Fair. All right. Sure. Yeah, I get that. I get that.
Because then now the people in Arizona are like, we don't want to be like California. And then all of a sudden we're mountain time forever. Then I'm just like, you
Okay,
know?
fair.
Chief Skull says, Jeffrey, Rich, hi, Dad.
Calling you daddy.
I'm not saying I didn't spend time with your mom, but
Wow.
you're not my son. Slow-Mo Zoe says, soccer is #1 worldwide. Why don't you guys embrace soccer and love it like the rest of the world?
Because I like all the other sports here
We're
better.
Americans. We just
That's
that's
all.
our thing.
I love soccer.
I wouldn't say
You
I
love
love soccer.
soccer?
I do. I love
I
soccer.
wouldn't say I love it, but I like it. When the World Cup comes around, I like the World Cup.
My
But I
sister
like-
watches soccer.
I like football better. I like basketball better. I like baseball better. And after that, I just don't really. It's not.
I mean, I just watched the LA Galaxy win the MLS again.
We only have a 3-hour show.
So I'm just
I
saying.
just do
We
not.
only have 3 hours, and there's always going to be more important sports to talk about.
DC United was a team that was in the area when I grew up. I don't know what they did this year because I didn't watch a second of
Damn
MLS
it.
soccer.
Now all
and
this
I
soccer
never
talk
will.
is making us late for real sports. Stop it.
We spent like an entire segment trying to figure out how to pronounce Beria. So like I don't even know that that's the priority here.
That's more important.
Is it?
That's a good point, though.
Okay,
Good
because
point.
It is.
I was like, after 5 minutes of it, I was like, I can't believe we're still.
Birria. And I was right when I first said it, too,
which makes it even
infuriating.
more of a waste of time because you were correct
no.
originally.
Much
and then
more important than
we
talking
spent
about soccer.
more important than
I'll
soccer.
do that 5 times before we talk about
But
soccer.
I would rather have just gotten to the football stuff, which we did not get to because we were.
It's right here. I
All
got
right,
it.
well, like,
We can
yeah,
talk
just,
hockey.
We have time for this.
Of course, we always have time for that.
No time for soccer.
Never.
Hockey.
Huh?
Hockey.
Well, they're not playing tonight because of the fires.
And also we don't have it here. So
You didn't talk
Kings
about,
Kings and Flames aren't playing because of the Flames.
but the USA just won the World Juniors. You didn't talk about that.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, you did?
You just weren't on.
Okay. Just making sure you did it. I don't believe you, but okay.
I am lying so much
I know
right
you're-
now.
They've won 3 of the last 4 and 2 in a row. I mean, that's a big deal. USA's taken over.
Can I tell you why we're not talking? Because we're a little butthurt. But we need some time. We need some time from our ex, the
You
Coyotes.
got the new commission now that's going to bring hockey back.
I saw that, and we'll see. So let's just see what happens. Just give
You're
us
American, though, right? You're a USA guy. Yeah.
give us the
Okay.
season. Give us the season just to like get over being hurt by losing hockey, and then we'll get into it again. Last Optimus says, as the U.S. population is growing, with immigration and stuff like that, it makes sense that sports popular in the rest of the world would gain popularity here, and traditional sports might drop in popularity. I don't think football dropped in popularity because of the increase in soccer.
it was 2%.
Football's the #1 sport in this country by far.
It's not even close.
Not even.
Last Optimus says even soccer fans don't know what happened with DC United, as all their games are broadcast on Apple TV.
Are they? I didn't know that. I would literally,
as no one watches hockey because that's all on ESPN Plus.
I watch.
My girlfriend lets me use her Apple TV, and I still didn't know that.
Chief Skull
not
says
watching it.
Jeffrey's a fan of the 52nd state of Canada. Well, if we're going to make the Canada part of the United States, we just take each one of their provinces and we end up with like 4 or 5. How many provinces?
Let's
are there?
not.
And then we'll just do that. That way then we'll have 55 states. Make Mexico a state. There's 56. I don't know how many provinces there
Let's
are.
not do any of that.
I'm a fan of everything being a state.
Canada should be Canada. We should be us.
I got a little of the colonialism in me. You know what I'm saying? But we're not used to asking and them saying yes. We just go and tell them.
That's
the
what they were
thing.
doing,
that's
basically.
that's yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, well, in that case, we're right on target. Moist one.
Or just take their stuff.
Says Freddie Adu.
Take their stuff.
You keep your land. We just want your things.
Freddie Adu was a soccer player.
Yeah. Forever ago. And he wasn't good. He was like
very young when he started.
All hype. And then he finally got out there and it was like, oh no, he's just a guy. All right. Well, lovely.
Up to the hype.
Big George says, yeah, that was ironic. Calgary Flames, aren't playing the LA Kings tonight. And they beat the Anaheim Ducks last night on the night the fires broke out. You know what? Canadians started these fires.
There you go.
Payback from Trudeau. Ooh. Oh, what if that's true? What if that's true? A bunch of Canadians running around there lighting fires.
Why would that be? Oh,
they're not upset Trudeau's gone. He's a joke.
They didn't like him.
Yeah, no one liked him.
They're getting their orders from somewhere. I bet it's somebody who talks French. I don't know. These
and not on behalf of Trudeau.
Likely everything we've said is true. No, I'm just gonna leave it there. I think it was Canadians. Filthy Canadians.
Where's Pierre when you need him?
I don't know. Whoever's using that fake account will probably fire him up right now.
Yeah.
Just the Tip says more people watch NHL than WNBA. If ESPN and Disney took their funding away, that would die.
Okay.
And
it's on TV and I like to watch it, so I watch it. I
don't think that's what we're talking about right now either. So listen, we got to take a break. 2 hours down and 1 to go. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Now open in Scottsdale. It's United Porte Custom Door Showroom with 40,000 Euro doors and hundreds of state-of-the-art designs and finishes on display, plus kitchen cabinets, bathroom vanities, and more, all at wholesale prices. Builders, contractors, designers, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Porte, Porte. Stop by to see and feel the quality. United Porte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time and switch to the expensive shampoo with amino acids. Sure, you don't know what those are or why you need them, but it sounds very impressive. And if you switch and save hundreds, you can massage it into your scalp every day. Now, if only you can get people to lean toward your hand to smell those aminos. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For shampoo, Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Sports betting apps are not created equal. Dylan Cohen from Beat the Book here to talk about the Sport Trade Advantage. With higher payouts, Sport Trade is the ultimate sports betting experience. Sport Trade is the first sports betting app that gives you the option to see the odds expressed as probabilities, and it's changing in-game betting forever. If it's easier to understand 52% probability of winning versus minus 108 odds, then Sport Trade is for you. With this percent odds feature, cashing out now makes much more sense. As the win probability changes, so does the value of your bet. And if you're an experienced bettor and prefer American odds, you'll get pricing closer to minus 106 versus the normal minus 110, coupled with instant in-play betting. No more spinny wheels. So download Sport Trade today to see the difference and beat the book. Use promo code 1580 to earn 10% cash back on every bet you place in your first week. Terms apply. Sport Trade is regulated by the Arizona Department of Gaming. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Looking for a gift for your kids or loved ones? Consider getting them something they'll use for the rest of their lives. An education. Open an AZ 529 education savings plan today. Contribute just $50 a month, and they'll have nearly $20,000 by graduation. Plus, your money grows tax-free and can be used for college, vocational school, or workforce training. An AZ 529 account will help them unwrap their full potential. Learn more at az529.gov.
This message is sponsored by the Office of the Arizona State Treasurer.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Sit down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside not Randy White. He'll be back tomorrow. Got Keon Rose in the control room. Ralph from Harmon Solar is joining us. And we got you guys on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580 as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar studios in Scottsdale. Devilhawk says, hey, I'm excited about getting Greenland. I'd travel there in a heartbeat since I can't get a passport.
Yeah, Greenland became a state. Although I think somebody might want to explain Greenland is the icy tundra one, and Iceland is the one we should really be trying to make a state because that's a nice, beautiful place.
Well, it'll just be a territory. It won't be a state.
We need more states, Ralph. It's time.
We don't.
It's time for more states. I want
the
more
flag
states.
is perfect with 50. We don't need to add.
Your OCD doesn't matter to me.
It does.
We can make a new flag.
People with
It'll
OCD will flip out.
Let's go for 60. Why are we not? Why do we stop? I mean, we should be getting more states.
No, we really shouldn't.
What
I like territories. We don't need
What's your
states.
problem?
Why do we need territories?
What is your problem? We need more states.
No.
I want more states.
Well, then I don't tell you.
I don't understand why you don't want more states.
Because it's 50 is a good number.
Because you can't count any higher? What's your problem? What is your problem?
I already struggle enough knowing that Hawaii and Alaska are states because they're out of our
You
area.
and I are too old to be tested on anything anymore.
Yeah, that's
Seriously.
true.
The only thing that's getting tested on us is our prostate. Outside of that, we are not going to be tested. So
My doctor's way too friendly with me lately. I know.
it's a little handsy or fingery.
A little big handsy.
If they got big hands, get a new doctor.
Yeah.
Well, I have my colonoscopy. I like shook hands and I was very attentive. I'm like, you will do. Very small fingers, very dainty. All right.
Stuff's all coming for Keon soon.
So, should we talk football now? Can we talk football?
I'd like to.
He doesn't want to talk colonoscopies. Okay.
Well,
He's just mad because I've thrown my support to Donald Trump for
when I get there, I'll get there.
Doing the time zone thing.
When I get there.
No, I don't actually. I don't care.
He doesn't care about that.
Yeah, that girl. Did you hear about that girl in Yuma who got the tattoo? She wanted to go in and get a neck tattoo. She's 9. Her parents are like, yeah, you can do it.
Of what?
She wanted to get a neck tattoo of Donald Trump on her neck. And the guy is like, you sure maybe you don't want an American flag instead? And then she's like, oh, all right. He's like, listen, in a year, if you still think the Trump tattoo is a good idea, come back. She did come back, but she's like, no, I just want to touch up on the flag. I'm happy. And he was like, okay. And I was like, you know what?
9 years old.
And everybody's like, oh, that's against the law. Nope, it's legal.
If your parents take you. I just think I think it's just weird that people get behind politicians like that. I would never get a politician tattooed on me.
I think it's great.
I agree with you.
I think that she should get a tattoo because you're going to learn about consequences.
I also don't
talk about a lesson in life.
Okay.
You know, because later on, she's whatever it is.
It's like when you're 9, you don't understand the consequences. That's what your parents are for.
Oh no, she's learning this lesson because they're idiots. But
you can't make that argument. That's a right wing argument, Keon. You can't make that argument.
What argument?
That at 9 you don't understand the consequences, so you can't make decisions. That's a right wing argument.
No, it's not.
Oh, absolutely, it is.
No,
I'm not going to get into it right now.
It's not.
Yeah.
But I will say I agree with you that no man. we should get behind no man. That's stupid to ever put your faith in a politician.
Yeah, or
that's ridiculous.
People who get political slogans tattooed on them, I think you're also a loser. Like
you guys are missing great opportunity for learning and growth. When you let dumb people do dumb things, they are then forced to live with the consequences of those dumb things.
But you try to prevent them from doing dumb things.
No, you don't prevent. You can't learn otherwise. Let them do the dumb things and then learn from it.
If you're 9, you should probably be protected from that, presumably by your parents. But you know,
I can't protect everybody.
I'm
too busy.
It's Yuma though, so you know.
Say what?
They get tattooed at 5 in Yuma.
Oh, well,
he's not wrong.
Gila River, Yuma. I mean, those are. Yeah.
Heavy Metal Maniac says that girl at 9 years old is going to grow up to be a stripper, probably. Well, that's just not right. You don't know that.
It's probably right.
You don't know that. I mean, being in Yuma does tilt the curve, but you know what I'm saying? Big George says, I'm with you, Jeffrey. We should go imperial on our neighbors' asses. Get Canada, Mexico, Greenland, Cuba. I didn't even thought about Cuba. You're right. Cuba's awesome.
Just take over the world.
Yes. Well, at least just near us, Chief Skull says, if we make Canada in the States, does that mean the CFL folds into the NFL?
Jeez.
I think we just fold it.
We make them change their rules and their fields.
Yeah, we just make them NFL teams.
They'd be bad NFL teams.
Huh?
They'd be bad NFL teams.
Yeah, but still, we'd let them have them.
Put them in a division with the Cardinals. Give them a shot.
I can't even argue that. And the AFC South, why not? Thundar the San Barbarian says, I think the people in Iceland and Greenland and Canada and Panama might have something to say whether or not they become a state. Oh, I'm sure they'll say something, but we are America and we've got a military. Bam! State. You're a state. Last Optimist says, tattoos with words or living people, other than children. Turns out that's bad luck.
Yeah,
I didn't even thought about the luck implication involved here. I didn't know that.
People say that.
Devilhawk says, Ralph, you say children shouldn't decide at age 9, but if they wanted to get a sex change and identify as the opposite sex without letting their parents know, would you be okay with that?
No, that was the whole point that I was making, which is why I said he made a right-wing argument.
But also, nobody on the left says that. So, that's why I'm saying no, they don't.
You don't think they
actually
do?
No, they actually do not.
Okay,
and I am not in the damn mood for this right now. So let's drop it.
We'll drop it, but I'll send you a video. Go ahead.
Nobody wants a video.
I don't want
Ralph.
your video.
It's
man.
gonna get blocked
Just,
immediately.
It's gonna get
Nope,
blocked
it's gonna get
immediately.
blocked.
don't.
I'm on Keon's side with that one. I don't.
You're a close one. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Heavy Metal Maniac
Don't worry.
says it's the girl's parents' fault that she become a stripper. I mean, that's just mean. This girl, you don't know that. I don't want to talk about.
She could
some
also
girl
just grow up to be a very smart girl with a
giant
dumbass tattoo. Like it's just
right.
like that can happen. It's like let's not try and predict a child's life now, though. Like let her live it.
Yeah,
See what
I don't
goes.
want to. I'm going to make a joke about anything. I just feel like, man, I don't want
let's
to make
not
jokes about. this
let's
old
not
girl.
joke about 9-year-olds
Yeah.
becoming sex workers. That seems like a bad idea.
This has gone a direction I did not.
Yeah,
expect.
let's talk ball.
Yeah.
Like we said, please.
Which my left or my right? Oh, you mean? Oh,
like the sport.
Sorry, I just hurt. I mean, eventually.
Yeah,
we're going to have to talk about them.
Yeah, without
not
getting
now.
into particular details, it's been a really rough week, and I find the football very distracting from the things that are not good in my life. So I'd like to talk that.
We are
if that's
very
okay.
distracted all right
Let's talk
now. I'll tell you
Just-
that. Seahawks. He said ball, not.
He said Seahawks.
Well,
he didn't say it, but he meant it.
Yeah,
He didn't say it, but he meant
I'm
it.
not gonna lie. I'll talk any team right now. I don't
See?
even. I don't even care.
If
Let's
you
do
look
some
at the,
distractions.
if you
I
look
don't
at the
care,
thoughts in Keon's brain right now, if you were to like my mention of a ball and then your Seahawks, there's an equal sign between them. And so
Wow. Wow.
So okay, let's just do what we were going to do. Paycor is paying $4.16 million a year for the Bengals stadium naming rights.
1.6 million?
Didn't they?
4.16 million. That's
cheap.
How do they show an ROI on paying millions of dollars for the branding of a stadium?
Well, that
how
is
do they
significant brand marketing.
How do they prove that in the Harmon Solar Studios here in Scottsdale? How do they prove?
I was going to say, you're making an argument against what you need.
Wait a minute.
You don't want to do that.
But
No, I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm just saying how are they able to prove that Paycor suddenly has seen its income rise because of having their name on a stadium? I get it in advertising on television,
But that
and
is
movie
advertising.
and whatever.
Because
but it's
when-
just a sign, basically.
You say it's a sign, but when every time they talk about it, when people say when we're going to the stadium, they say the name of the stadium. Some people are going to say, well, we'll go to the Paul Brown Stadium, but some people are going to say Paycor. To the point where we've talked about, the Clippers do stadium. It's the Intuit Dome. I didn't know about the company Intuit prior to them naming the stadium. I didn't, because
it's computer stuff.
Yeah, I mean you work a little bit more with that. Like I didn't, and so like now it's a work. Every time I see the logo somewhere else, it's stuck in my head. I like that does actually have some kind of value. It may not be. I don't know how you quantify it. I'm sure that is pretty difficult to
That's
do.
what I'm asking: is how do you figure out how much money they've made for their 4.16 million per year? Now they paid. Well, it's a contract, so it's a 16-year, $66.7 million deal. This ain't no small thing
I
as far
think
as
that you
putting out
probably
money.
point to other stadiums and how the naming rights have boosted the profits.
That's
of
what I'm
those
asking.
companies.
How do they?
That
show
would be my guess.
I would love to know. When I ask, I'm actually
Oh, no.
asking. Does anybody know
Yeah,
how
I'm-
they show the ROI of that?
I'm trying to answer. I think
It's hard when marketing is tough, right? So this is what I do for a living. So it's hard to break it down to say that when you do brand, there's different kinds of marketing. That's purely a brand play. When you do a brand play, you have to look and see what it does to the customer base that you come in. So did it increase your base at all? You can ask questions when you get customers, but you have to look at the overall number. But brand marketing is tougher than looking at when you run a campaign specifically, and you can measure that. But brand is a little different. It's a different form of marketing, but you know it works because, for instance, Lumen Field. I have no idea what the hell Lumen does.
I haven't bought one Lumen.
Right, but I know that in Seattle it's Lumen Field. Right, I know that in San Francisco it's Levi Stadium. Those little things connect to people. We connect
Candlestick Park.
We connect things we like to those
It
things,
used to be.
and therefore we look to see what they're about, and therefore then maybe we use the product if we deem it necessary. But
Can
it
I say what
work.
I would like better is, when they, I like whatever they were called before, like
like when stadiums had real names.
an actual name. Why don't they just have brought to you by and they put their name on there? Can they do that? Rather than change
Well, the Coliseum does that.
The legacy name of a cool place.
The Coliseum is the Coliseum, but the field is United Airlines Field. They refuse to put a brand on the Coliseum, but they do it to the field. Some people are starting to do that. I think, don't they do that in DC as well?
It was RFK.
But I
They're going
thought
to
they
read
did that in DC.
But
with the field.
RFK just doesn't have like a big enough team using it for there to really be a sponsor. There will
Are
absolutely
they going
be
to
one.
name the new one RFK? Like demolish the old one, say the new RFK or something?
I have no idea what the plan is
The new
there,
FedEx
honestly.
Field?
But in DC, no. I mean, they had it was Commander Stadium for most of this year until they got their new brand deal, which is ironically called Northwest Stadium, despite the fact this is an East Coast team.
It's in the East Coast.
But it's
That's kind of weird.
Northwest Bank got the rights.
So it had to make you nervous, like, oh God, we're going back. We're going backwards here now.
Not really. It's because it's money. It's Northwest paid the most money. Look, I don't get to see any of it, so I don't care what the thing's called. Just win football games, and I'll
I'm sure
be
the
happy,
taxpayers don't get to see any of that either, like a
but-
rebate.
Well, of
for-
course not. Why would they?
How many millions of people see that name though? Because if it's State Farm Stadium, how many people get to see that every week when they go there or when it's on TV?
Or just even talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's huge. I think $4 million a year is not bad.
Kyle G says all this talk of acquiring states has got to have Puerto Ricans pissed because they've been trying to be a state for decades. Yeah, not yet, Puerto Rico. Not yet.
Damn.
That's the one you agree on. And I don't blame you for agreeing, to be honest.
Puerto
with you.
Rico, we're going to need a minute. We're going to need a minute.
We need a few minutes.
We're going to need a minute. We'll get to you. We did. Hefty Lefty says Office Depot and Office Max had to merge years ago to compete with Staples, all because of the Staples Center, of course. I don't think that's why.
I don't think it's why, but I don't think it hurt.
helped.
By the way, Staples went out of business, right? It's not called the Staples Center anymore, right?
It's not called
They
Staples
changed
Center,
names.
but Staples still exists.
We still call it Staples. True Laker fans still call it Staples.
Well, yeah, like if you've been a fan long enough, like that's the thing with some of this brand recognition, right? Like it outlasts the change to the new thing. So maybe new fans in like 20 years, fans who are watching the Lakers are going to say that's crypto.
Right.
And if they change the name from that because crypto either doesn't exist or that specific, crypto.com doesn't exist.
But
then
the forum was always the forum, not Great Western Forum.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the Chiefs lost a game to the Broncos because they were afraid it's going to get called Burrowhead again.
For a lot of fans, like Diamondbacks still play at the Bob.
Yeah, I still look at it.
Yeah, but that was also the Bob was a sponsor, Bank One Ballpark.
Yeah,
you know?
but the thing is, the Bank One outlasted the new sponsor for a lot of fans, and so you'll have younger Diamondback fans who will be able to look at it and call it something else. But people like Randy, who've only ever known it as the Bob, that's what's going to always
saw
be.
it being built as I was riding on my way to go do shows with Randy. Here's the thing: Chase is a pretty good sounding name, so that ain't bad.
Yeah.
They call it, but there's some other stadiums and stuff out there where you're like, God, that's a dumb name. We got one here, Footprint.
That's America West.
I know it's a great company, it's local and all that, but what a horrible name.
That is a horrible
for a stadium. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Swave Dave says, live life with no regrets. Hamilton Porter says, I just saw the gym, the NHL is doing their outdoor games in Florida next year. What could go wrong?
Jeez.
An alligator attack and people falling through the ice, because it's melting.
Gosh, why would you do that there?
Why would you anything in Florida? That's the first thing. Why would you anything in Florida?
Bad
What
enough
a
to live there.
horrible place. Hamilton Porter says, ask anyone in Chicago if they call it the Willis Tower. That will always be called the Sears Tower.
I didn't know it changed.
I didn't know it changed.
Sears
either.
went out of business.
That's true. Like it does make sense.
That makes sense.
But that's exactly like it's hard to quantify, like you said, but it proves that there is an actual strength in having the brand attached to the building because the company doesn't exist anymore, and we still
building?
think Sears.
Still
There's
Sears
no
Tower to me.
Chrysler.
Yeah.
There's no Chrysler anymore.
Still the Chrysler building.
Yeah,
right.
But the brand has outlasted everything. I mean, that's just people make those associations, and it's hard to
lose my
unattach
mind
it.
if they called it the Daimler building or something.
So in about 15, 20 years, like there are going to be people who think of the Bengal Stadium as Paycor, and you can't get them to not think about it.
Devilhawk says maybe you can rename the show to the Daily Blender with Jeffrey O'Brien, brought to you by Trojan Condoms. Listen, I don't.
If they
I
pay,
don't want to disillusion you here. I will sell out to anybody shows up with money. The answer is yes. We are not. We're not artists. We're very happy to sell out. We will sell out, and it takes very little to get us to do so.
Yeah, you saw that the Harmon Solar.
Absolutely. Every time. So Waldo says, same as the Oakland Coliseum, despite the name changes over the year through, Ace bands never called it anything other than the Coliseum. True A fans is what he meant to say. Thundar Santa Bavarian says Staples store still exists here, but they just stopped paying for naming rights because they can't afford it, where the LA Kings play. Chief Skull says rename Footprint Center Dysfunction Junction.
Dysfunction Junction.
You're right. It is Dysfunction Junction. What's your function? Rattlers fan says, after my Achilles injury, I used Core Institute as my ortho and Spooner Physical Therapy. Those were both sponsors of the Arizona Rattlers at the same time. And I used them because their signage, it was all over the stadium.
Yeah,
All right, well,
so-
that's good marketing and advertisement.
it gets to be one of those things that when you need it, when you think about, when you start to go, okay, what do I need? That's the first thing that comes to mind. So
Yeah.
it gets people.
Hamilton Porter says, Ralph, I'm pretty sure it's now the Kia Forum. The Kia Forum.
Is it Kia? It's fabulous forum to me.
Yeah,
It'll
well.
always just be the fabulous forum.
Participation trophy banner forum. Kyle G says, instead of naming the stadium a corporate sponsor, they could just sell a logo spot on the field, be just as much TV time.
But they don't want it to just be TV time.
He says,
They
I
want
would
you.
start a riot if they ever sold out the name for Lambeau Field.
I mean, they won't because of what that means there.
Historical.
But yeah, like I think that the corporate name, the logo on the field, they don't want just the logo on the field. They want you to say the name of the company every time you say the stadium. That's more powerful than just the logo.
Oh,
Plus,
dear
they'll
Lord.
get the logo too because why not?
I just found myself agreeing with T-Licious, which is a very frightening place to be. But you'll agree once I read his text. He said, I just wish the Cardinals had accepted that $30 million offer from Pink Tacos for the naming rights back when they first opened. That is a true story. There was a
Tacos?
restaurant in town called the Pink Taco, and they offered $30 million to get the naming rights for the stadium. And they were like, no.
I think that there's a good reason for that.
Pink Taco Stadium.
Because the Cardinals like, well, we don't want our brand attached to the other thing that means. So
30 million, though. It's 30 million.
It's a lot of money.
State Farm's probably paying more than that. So
Maya D says, what is the name of the stadium where the Seahawks won't be playing a playoff game this weekend?
Lumen Field.
I love
Thanks,
the
though.
way he phrased
he's
the question. Hamilton Porter says, anyone remember when a porn site tried to name the naming rights to the Miami Heat Stadium? No, I never heard that
well,
story.
they offered to, and the Heat were like, no, thank you.
Well, which one do I want? No, no.
I don't actually remember.
Buffalo Mike
one of them
says TGL. What's TGL? He says the future of golf. Having the greens for putting and chipping is cool. Mile High Stadium will always be mile high, no matter who the corporate sponsor is.
I
Oh, is
agree
it
with that.
TGL Stadium now?
Didn't know that.
It's got to be Mile High.
It'll always be Mile High.
Yeah,
right?
like it's one of those it's Denver. You just can't describe it any other way.
Chief Skull says, Keon, what does pink taco mean? Don't answer that.
You have Google.
Deflated,
Use your computer.
Deflated Balls says Washington should name their stadium RFK Jr. Stadium.
Wow.
Bullseye says Rolf is bandwagon jumping on the Rams now. Pick a team, man.
I'm a Seahawk fan, but I always have a heart for the Rams. I'm from LA.
He always has a heart for the Rams.
My
Shut
dad, when I
up.
was young, he took me to my first NFL game. It was a Ram game.
Then
with
why are you
John
still
Hadle
a Rams
and
fan?
Roman
You should have
Gabriel.
stayed a Rams
I
fan.
got mad when they moved from LA. When they went to Orange County, it pissed me off. And then they moved to St. Louis. I was done.
And then your heart should be dead to them.
Well, Georgia Frontieri's dead, so it makes it easier to pull from there. She was the problem.
Just a Tip says 1965. I watched my first game at Yankee Stadium. Still Yankee Stadium. Nobody cares, Just a Tip. We hate the Yankees.
But it'd always be Yankee Stadium.
Hate the
Yeah.
Yankees. You're right, though. It would always be Yankee
There are
Stadium.
just some teams. It's just gonna be what it is. You can add a corporate sponsor if you want. Then they're still gonna call it Yankee Stadium.
Dodgers will always be Chavez Ravine. You can call it whatever you want, but it's Chavez Ravine.
Boston's got Fenway.
Yep.
Gamecock says, been a while, but I'd like to say Gamecocks should have made the playoffs. Noted. Just a Tip says, yeah, no selling out here. Hamilton Porter says the White Sox renaming Comiskey guaranteed rate was sacrilegious.
Yeah, it's Comiskey.
Yeah. Devil Hawk says, Keon's right. I wish some mortuary would sponsor some stadiums. That way I get my fares in order and get a good deal. Ralph's Mortuary Stadium has a nice ring to it.
Ralph's Mortuary.
Ralph's.
Wow.
I feel like
I don't
that'd be
own
a
that business.
discount burial.
It would be.
Chief Skull says Broncos Stadium's called Empower Field Mile High. Sounds dumb. You're right.
Dumb.
And last text, we got to go to break. Seabass says, wasn't it exploited teenagers that wanted to rename the Heat Stadium? Jesus.
I don't think so.
That is 2 on the nose for Florida.
And also I don't think so, but I don't remember what the site was, so I couldn't tell you. And I'm afraid to Google it because I don't want it to show up on the work computer.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. In fact, we're moving on. We're going to talk more football when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic. Brought to you by GBank. Earn cashback rewards on every eligible gaming transaction. vsin.com/GBank. Subject to credit approval, terms and conditions apply.
The college football playoff continuing Thursday night with the Orange Bowl between Penn State and Notre Dame. Friday night, the Cotton Bowl will feature Ohio State and Texas. The winners will advance to the national championship in Atlanta January 20th, with Ohio State the betting favorite to win it all. The Buckeyes are scoring over 40 points in their first 2 playoff games and are minus 145 to win the national title. Notre Dame, the second best betting favorite at plus 450. Texas is a plus 475, and you can get Penn State at plus 550. As far as the exact outcome, Ohio State to beat Notre Dame is at plus 225. Ohio State to beat Penn State is at plus 300. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Sports betting apps are not created equal. Dylan Cohen from Beat the Book here to talk about the Sport Trade Advantage. With higher payouts, Sport Trade is the ultimate sports betting experience. Sport Trade is the first sports betting app that gives you the option to see the odds expressed as probabilities, and it's changing in-game betting forever. If it's easier to understand 52% probability of winning versus minus 108 odds, then Sport Trade is for you. With this percent odds feature, cashing out now makes much more sense. As the win probability changes, so does the value of your bet. And if you're an experienced bettor and prefer American odds, you'll get pricing closer to minus 106 versus the normal minus 110, coupled with instant in-play betting. No more spinny wheels. So download Sport Trade today to see the difference and beat the book. Use promo code 1580 to earn 10% cash back on every bet you place in your first week. Terms apply.
Sport Trade is regulated by the Arizona Department of Gaming. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time. The next time you're out to dinner with friends, you can order the shrimp cocktail for the table. And maybe you'll realize it only comes with 4 shrimp after you've already given away 3, but that one shrimp will be so good. And if you switch and save hundreds, you could get shrimp all the time. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for shrimp. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Everybody's got a podcast these days. Comedy, politics, true crime, you name it. But how many actually teach you anything useful? Harmon Solar has an entertaining podcast that is vital if you've been thinking about looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Ralph and Ben explore the intricacies of utilities, equipment, processes, and more. Their primary objective is to educate and empower you to make informed decisions on your solar journey. So increase your knowledge, not your bills. Go check it out right now. It's the Harmon Solar Podcast at harmonsolar.com.
In most countries of the world, Forte means door. United Forte Custom Doors, located in the Scottsdale Airport Design District, is now open with over 40,000 European doors, all in stock, ready for delivery, and at wholesale prices. Designers, contractors, builders, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Forte, Porte. Stop by to see and feel the quality at United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
Saturday, it's NFL football on the Fanatic.
Saturday at 6, the Steelers travel to Baltimore to take on the Ravens in an AFC North battle. The Ravens blew out the Steelers in Week 16. Will the Steelers enact revenge on their rivals, or will the Ravens MVP candidate Lamar Jackson carve up the Steelers again to move on? Steelers at Ravens, Saturday at 6.
Your home for live NFL action, the playoffs, and Super Bowl 59. 1580 The Fanatic.
Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. All right, let's see. So here's the latest. They're saying that the Vikings and Rams game next Monday still plan to play in Los Angeles, but if the Fires, do the wrong thing, then yes, the place they will play will be Glendale, Arizona, over at the University of Phoenix Stadium.
Yes.
Which I know they call it that, but I just felt like being that.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're just doing that on purpose.
So we'll keep you up to date on that. Let's see.
I'm going if that happens.
You don't even know how much tickets are.
I don't care. It can't be that expensive. They'll be cheap because they want people to go.
That's a good point. People at the last second. Let's see what else is going on. I'm trying to see if there's any news right now. Jalen Hurts was limited in practice, but at least he was there. I feel like he's on a path to play. I really do.
I think they feel good about it too. The question I think with Jalen is if he does play, what version of Jalen do we get? Because he hasn't actually practiced in the last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. But he was there. So again, you got Thursday, you got Friday. You think you got Saturday too, right? They're not playing Saturday, are they? What day are they playing? Where's my thing? Hold on. The Eagles are playing midday on Sunday. So, he's got 3 good practices in front of him to see what happens. So, the Eagles absolutely need Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, and as good as Saquon has been, the threat of Jalen running makes Saquon's life so much easier. Mm-hmm. It's one of the reasons why, even though they had success without Jalen, it wasn't the same offense. You're not doing the same thing if Kenny Pickett's out there. You got to have Jalen.
Yeah. And the Chiefs got to have Patrick Mahomes. And by the way, Patrick Mahomes is one playoff win away from tying Joe Montana for the second most ever playoff wins.
Wow.
Now, first place, Tom Brady, so far away from that one.
Yeah,
that's
you're gonna have to play for
35.
Another entire career worth of games.
Yeah, Montana won 14. So if Patrick Mahomes gets 15, he'll need 20 more to tie Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
I'm not saying he can't do it, but I'm saying that's an uphill battle right there.
Be absurd to do. Yeah.
I think that Mahomes should really just try to get that 3 in a row that nobody's ever done, because I don't know if you're going to catch Tom Brady. I mean, there's so much that happens in the world of football. You know what I mean? Like, okay, we don't have the same O-line. We don't have the same receivers. We don't have a running game. We don't have the defense. There's so many different factors
that are behind whether you do or do not win a Super Bowl that makes what Tom Brady did exceptional. I mean, think about it. I mean, whoever the GM was over there, who was the GM during the Brady years? It wasn't Bob Kraft doing it, was it?
Bill.
Oh, that's right.
It was Bill.
Well, see, why wouldn't you want Bill Belichick? You know, I heard Bill
because of
Belichick
the last 5 years of
he
Bill
said
Belichick.
the last 4 years, he says we were not all on the same page, indicating that he was blaming Bob Kraft for the way things were going because they weren't agreeing on stuff.
And not just Bob Kraft, but maybe you get other people in that front office who start to have a little bit more of a voice, and they are not, you know, I don't know what Bill's stance is on analytics, for instance, and what analytics you use and don't use. But when you start to get all of those voices, if they're not aligned, you end up with evaluations that are kind of all over the road, and then it affects the receivers you're drafting, offensive line, all that stuff.
So what do you make of these allegations that Andy Reid, by letting the Broncos run up and down their driveway, scoring 0 points, did that on purpose because they want to get the Bengals out of the playoffs? And why not? We just gacked the Dolphins too by losing this game to the Broncos. Do you think there's any strategic thought process beyond just resting all their players for the next game?
I don't think so, but even if it was, the Bengals did that to themselves. If the Bengals didn't start off the season, what did they start off? 0-3? Yeah, 0-3. They lost 4 out of their first 5 games and then spent the entire rest of the season playing catch up. And to their credit, despite the fact that their defense doesn't actually work, they were damn close. But if the Bengals simply win any one of the first four out of any one of the first 3 games that they play, and any 2 of the first 5, they're in.
No, I think Andy Reid was just resting his players.
I think he was just resting his players.
All he cares about. Giving the starters 2 weeks off because they've got the bye. So he gives the starters 2 weeks off. Let's get everybody healthy. Who cares if we win this game? Hey, let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens. But we're not going to stress out about it, And, all right. So the backups didn't get it done. They got killed. And nobody's hurt from this.
I mean, a game like this is why you have Carson Wentz on your roster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
because
that's why you
hide behind how bad he is.
Sure.
Yeah, but even if he did it on purpose, I don't think he did. But even if he did,
it's smart if he did.
Why not?
I wouldn't be afraid of the Bengals.
That's a dangerous team right now.
They're dangerous, but the defense of the Chiefs is so damn good.
Have you seen the Bengals versus other great defenses? They were a buzzsaw that went right through that Denver defense, and that's the best defense in football.
So keep in mind what you're saying, though. You're saying that the Bengals defense is straight up garbage. So here's what you got. You got the Patriots. I'm sorry, the Patriots. You've got the Chiefs offense, which, they've been quiet this year, but there is possibility and they are able to score and control games and do things at will, especially against a bad defense. So that offense is going to score. Now you've got a really good defense up against the Bengals, which means you're going to get a couple more stops than they are. No matter what Joe Burrow does,
but their offense was better than the Chiefs' offense.
I feel like I'm saying is your offense against the bad Bengals defense is going to score more points than Burrow against your very good Chiefs defense.
Joe Burrow versus the best defense in football.
I didn't say he wouldn't score ever. I'm just saying
no, but you're not.
Better output from the Chiefs.
I don't think so. I genuinely
never know now because damn dirty rotten Andy Reid make sure we didn't get to see it.
We'll never know because the Bengals, who historically start slow, decided to test that theory with the slowest start they could have ever had. They did this to themselves.
It would have been a fun game.
It would have been a very fun game. And it would have been a shootout. And it's the only kind of game the Bengals are capable of winning.
Well, I stand by that. I think the Chiefs still would have won that game.
Maybe the Chiefs have only scored 30 points once this year, right?
They've scored exactly how much they've needed to.
What I'm saying is they've only hit the 30 number one time.
I stand by that one too. I think that Andy Reid and the Chiefs have been sort of just cruising along, pacing themselves. you're going to see a whole different Chiefs team the next time they play.
Well, if they're healthy, you'll see a different Chiefs team. If they run out the same guys that they have been running out this
they got
year,
2 weeks to get healthy. They'll be fine.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's not gonna. I'm saying it's not gonna be because Andy Reid's been pacing them. It's because they're hurt. Like that's what was true all year long. You lose Pacheco early, and then you lose. Oh God, he hasn't played. So Rashee Rice, like that is going to take the level of explosiveness.
Don't bring that up again.
Okay, but you can't act like that's the reason.
I don't want to ever hear that again.
The Chiefs weren't pacing; they were hurt, and that's the hill I'm going to die on because, like, you can't pace in the NFL.
How dare you sit up there in the Premier League when I'm gone, talk about Rashee Rice to me? Don't ever mention his name again. Ever.
I'm going to draft him next year.
He didn't do anything.
I don't care what you do. I'm not playing there. I'm out.
That's true.
So
wait, are you saying the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl? Or are they going to be in the Super Bowl?
I think they'll be in it.
You do?
I think the Vikings. I think the Lions will win.
You think they can take out the Ravens and the Bills?
I think so.
I don't see it.
The defense is strong enough to I'm telling you, the same thing I said about the Bengals, I say about both those teams.
It's the offense that I'm worried about with them.
Yeah,
it's not the defense. The defense is strong enough.
Magic happen.
But I just
Allen's
without that ability to put pressure on the back end of a defense, I just do not. I don't know.
If you're right, you get to say you're right. But I have a feeling the magic is about to happen.
The Ravens, I think they can take out the Ravens because the Ravens defense is not what it used to be either. But the Bills are where I'm like,
the Bills.
I don't know, man.
Finally get there.
You'll see.
Yeah.
The magic is about to happen. That's all I'm going to say. So Travis Kelce, he was like, yeah, that's bullcrap about us, trying to avoid the Bengals. He's like, I'll play anybody anywhere. We'll do it at Walmart parking lot. I don't even care. Like, all right, calm down there. He was on his podcast with his hairy brother, and they were talking about, I don't know how it came up, but somebody was talking about having to go to a wedding or something. And like, what season do you think people should have their weddings in?
Spring.
I think they should be in early spring or fall because nobody wants to be hot at a wedding. You got to put on a suit. You got to put on, even if you're a guest, it's like, come on, man.
I say spring and not at all fall because you know how many college football games I've missed.
That's a good point. Really good point. That's why Travis Kelce's like no to fall. He's playing football all the time. So he's like, this is inconvenient for me. But if I had to choose between spring or summer, it'd be early spring. I'm talking, hey, let's have a Valentine's Day wedding. So it's nice and cool, but it's sunny, maybe. Who cares? I just don't want to be hot. That's it. That's it. But then he starts talking about that, and then all the Swifties are like, oh my God, he's thinking about wedding dates. Oh my God.
Yeah,
he can talk about not wanting to go to a wedding during that time. Doesn't mean he's sitting there planning it.
Okay, you're not talking to Swifties right now. You are preaching to the choir. This is.
By the way,
we know that.
By the way, these Swifties. How dumb are you, Swifties? Because he will have nothing to do with the planning. This, you know what I'm saying? If they actually get married and he has then finally signed that prenup, she is going to be in charge of this production.
Can you imagine the money they're going to spend?
Woof.
It's going to be like a royal wedding.
It'll be the gross, but all the money in Costa Rica gone, just like that. That's how much. Just the entire thing. But so
of a small country.
Everybody, calm down. They're not even engaged or nothing. So
that you know of.
They should do it. They should do what Goldie Hawn and
Kurt Russell.
Yeah, they should do that. Just live together, enjoy life, be happy. Yeah,
if they've done that now, for 40 years?
Yeah. But then, sometimes people are just in love and they want to get married. Sometimes that's just the thing. So, make sure you got good lawyers because
marriage kind of ruins things.
Travis, don't do it. Travis, just don't do it.
I'll tell you why. She's using you. No. I know she's got $1 billion. She's using you for that album. That will be the biggest album she's ever released. If they break up and she's the next album out,
I don't.
Dear God,
because all of her
it will
albums,
make so much money. All of her
albums make the most money. She's at the top of every time she releases an album. She released this last one.
People who
'Cause
never
my
would have
girlfriend
bought one of
listens
her
to her.
albums would do it.
She released this last one like 3 times, and every time she released it, it went right back to the top of the charts.
Now
She
you
doesn't
got all
need
the
to do this. This is
NFL
not.
people like, what did he do? And all the Swifties, what did he do? What
The NFL people are not going to buy her album. It does.
Oh, yeah, they will.
Okay.
You know why? You know why? Because Travis Kelce and the Chiefs will go play other teams, and they're going to play that so loud when he's in the stadium. It's going to be
That'd
played.
fun. That would be fun.
They're
It would
going to
be
troll
funny.
him with whatever the song
She
is.
does not need this. It just
should be like, I hate him. Rhymes with Kelsey. Okay, honestly, I don't know what rhymes with Kelsey. That may be his only saving grace. Is it nothing rhymes with Kelsey?
She could go into
what
a
rhymes
studio
with Kelsey?
and take
I
a
want to
pencil
trademark and copyright the song
and just
now.
tap a mic for 55 minutes, and her fans would stream it. Like this is not.
No,
she doesn't
really.
need this.
I
She
need
does
this.
not
What
need
rhymes
this.
with Kelsey? I'll make money off this. Belsey, Nelsey, Felsey. Nothing rhymes with Kelsey. See, I thought I was clever when I named my kids. I made sure I named them stuff that didn't rhyme.
Other
so
names.
That, so
Like
they wouldn't get
Chelsea.
teased. Chelsea? Kelsey?
Chelsea, Elsie.
Yeah. Else? What's an Elsie? Like the
It's
cow?
another name. It's a
That's
name.
just another name.
Nothing you
He-
can
he-
really
he-
get a good.
He'd have to cheat with
tease on.
Elsie and Chelsea to get
There's
a
nothing.
rhyme for them.
Yeah, there's nothing here.
Wealthy.
Wealthy Chelsea. Nah, that's kind of.
It's not a perfect rhyme, but it'll work.
All right, listen, we got to take a break. We come back. Against the Spread has a very simple betting rubric for the Chiefs. I'll share that with you. We'll catch up on the texts. We'll get Big George's sports history. More of the Daily Blender after this here on 1580 The Fanatic.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to end your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
Call 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Welcome to Staples.
I am so pumped. My business is going to kill it this year.
Awesome. How can I help?
First, a new computer.
With Staples Home and Office Hot Deals, you save big on tech.
And new posters.
Save on custom printing too.
And
a new chair?
a chair. Who has time to sit?
Maybe all your new clients?
Now you're talking.
With Staples Home and Office Hot Deals, you'll find huge savings on custom prints, storage, chairs, and tech. And now save up to $175 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends 2/1.
My pain is considerable, but that prescription is dangerous.
The side effects of my medicine are worse than my condition.
I'm in recovery. I can't take those pills.
When faced with a health crisis, you shouldn't have to choose between risks.
At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our medical doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. Our naturopathic doctors can restore pain-free joint function and restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves immediate physical symptoms without having you take a bunch of pills. If traditional medicines aren't working, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
I'm an Arizona truck driver. I deliver food, medicine, supplies, and hope.
And during times of crisis, I support our communities. But every day I see people putting lives and families at risk.
Distracted driving is deadly, period. Be aware, be safe, and visit sharetheroadaz.com and find tips on how to drive safely around trucks.
This message is sponsored by the Arizona Trucking Association Foundation.
Download our free sports app and stay up with all the latest sports news, scores, highlights, and more. Or stream us live anywhere at 1580thefanatic.com. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, Arizona's home for sports.
Hey, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Super duper wild card weekend. We got you. 1580 The Fanatic has every single game on the radio. You can listen to it on the regular radio. You can listen to it on the streaming. You can just, we're here. We got you. We got you on the app. We got you on the website. We got you everywhere. All right. So let's get caught up on the text line real fast here. And then we'll get to, no. I'm going to start with Against the Spread because this could be valuable information for somebody. So Against the Spread says, I have a very simple betting rubric for the Chiefs. Wait until they go down early, then bet on them to win live. Works every time. Nothing better than betting on a great coach, Hall of Fame quarterback, excellent defense, and outstanding special teams. By the way, I learned a valuable lesson last night. Never bet on the effing Suns ever again. They're borderline pathetic, and they've become unwatchable. You're right. I can't argue that. Not going to argue that. It's bad.
I like that bet. That's a good idea.
Because that loss, it doesn't look like it on paper. Like you can look at the stat line and you can look at Durant's numbers and you can look at Booker's numbers and you can look at the score. It doesn't look that bad on paper. That loss felt like the worst loss of the season.
Mm-hmm. It was horrible. It was horrible.
That rebounding differential is insane. Like I don't even know what you're supposed to do with that.
Just somebody let me know when it's fixed. Joe Boo 35. Well, I remember you, Joe Boo 35 says, "What's up, fellas? I don't know. What's up with you? Sorry, I don't remember you. But welcome back.
I like that name, Jobu.
Jobu 35 from long ago. Navy Devil says Kenny Pickett has cracked ribs. Not sure how much he's practicing either right now. To be honest,
that's true.
Swave Dave says, didn't Montana do it with all the without all the wild card stuff? Joe Montana.
What do you mean?
There was no wild card when he played.
Yeah, I don't think there was.
But
that came in the 90s, right?
To play the games you need to play, Swave Dave. It's just a matter of how many games you've played. Doesn't matter if there was a wild card or not. And let's see here. This Last Optimist says she already released a song about her love for Kelsey. See, it's coming. Killer Rabbit says divorce album will sell to half the women in the world. It'll sell to all the women in the world.
Yeah, 80%. But they would listen to it anyway.
Yep.
I cannot stress to you how much they would listen to it anyway.
Okay.
Because my girlfriend likes Taylor Swift, and some of the friends do too. They don't even like the last album. They unanimously all agree it wasn't good. It was number one.
Is no good for anybody. This argument is no good for anybody. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to bet you whatever you want that when that album happens, that it will be the biggest album she has ever had. Bigger than anything else. That is the bet.
I think that's a bad bet.
You could make it
and here's why it's a bad bet. The last one sucked, according to her fans. No, hold on. The last one sucked according to her fans, and it broke the record of the last one, which broke the record of the last one, which broke the record of the last one. You can see what I'm getting at here. It doesn't matter what she does next. It's going to be the highest one.
It's not about the money. Maybe it's about times at number one or whatever.
We're going to need a criteria that actually
you sort it out. Let me know because
I don't want to figure out.
You're just arguing with me every time I come with a good one.
No, because because you keep suggesting to me things that are going to happen no matter what she does. I'm not going to. That's a losing bet. She could go into the studio and fart into the mic, and it's going to be the best thing she's ever done because her fans have already decided it's great.
One would probably do better than the farting.
I don't
know.
Ralph would buy the farting.
We're football people. We care about Travis Kelce. Her fans.
Well, here's what you're not seeing. I'm seeing her fans plus a bunch of people who would never listen to any of that before going, wonder what's up with that.
I genuinely don't think that's going to happen.
It'll move the needle.
But I can't tell you that it's going to be. Like, I don't know what to judge it by because she always outsells her last thing.
Against the Spread has already written it. He says if Taylor Swift made a breakup song about Kelsey, he'd go like this.
I'm going to have to pass on Travis. He doesn't get it done on the mattress. He's too little and too flaccid. Doesn't rock the boat for me, so I'm done with Kelsey. That's genius.
That's, okay.
I feel like that's Grammy.
Doesn't sound like anything she'd write. She
Listen,
mostly writes about feelings than
that's
that.
a Grammy.
So
that's a Grammy against the spread.
Which is why I know
it's a Grammy.
All the football people are like, I'm going to go listen to this album.
Ralph,
and they'll listen to one song. It's going to be sappy and emotional. And then they're going to be done.
No. Remember this song? Remember this song from a long time? Love you forever, and ever, and ever, and ever. Grammy. That guy got a Grammy, whatever that was.
Yeah.
That horrible song. What was it, the 80s, 90s?
I think that was late 80s.
I love you forever and ever. And
I'll tell you what,
they'll give anybody a Grammy.
And all this, I would just hate to be Travis Kelce because the hate that's going to come on him.
Oh, Jesus.
He's going to get a lot
He'll
of
be
hate.
wrong no matter. She will have to cheat on camera, on live television, or
I still
beyond
think
that.
he'd be okay. I still be that.
He's going to get death threats.
She has a cult.
Yeah, and that's the reason why it had every guy, even though the last guy was apparently a horrible person. Still, I don't know. Like that's just You're making predictions that are going to come true, whether or not Travis Kelce was the person involved. That's what I'm trying to say. So I don't want
You're playing with fire.
You're just mad and I'm right.
No,
Clearly you've admitted I'm right.
You're
and
not.
That gets to you. That gets you deep down inside.
I don't actually care. I just
I'm
think
so right.
I just think that she's going to outsell regardless. Like if they're still together and she makes another album, it's still going to outsell the last one.
It's the New Heights effect.
Because that's how that works. The New Heights effect.
New Heights or Great Heights?
New Heights, I think. I just think that all the football people are going to mosey on over and they're going to get into one. They're going to get one song in, and then realize.
But it'll still move the needle.
Not enough.
Seabass says
how streaming numbers work.
Seabass says Keon's right. Taylor Swift's best album was her first one called Go Go Gaga. No one bought it, but it was the best. Aren't you a truck driver? How do you use that to lure people into your? Wow. You know what? I don't want to know.
You know what the name of her first album is? Because I don't know. Wow. Is that what it's called?
All the truckers blast.
Yeah.
Yes, Hamilton Porter. We did hear that the playoff game will be at State Farm Stadium if things don't improve in LA. You are correct.
They'll have to wait on the renovation they're doing.
Are they seriously doing something?
They're doing some kind of cement renovation and they're fixing some of the seating areas. Yeah.
It must be a thing where they could just rope some of that off and push the field back in because they wouldn't have agreed to it if they couldn't do it.
Or they're holding off for a couple days.
Thundar the Santa Barbarian says, ooh, hey, Fourth Dimension. We can take Jeffrey viral. Arizona radio station announces Taylor Swift has broken up with Travis Kelce. Post that on social media. I never said that. Nobody ever said they broke up. We're just saying when that happens, it could be 10, 20 years from now. Who knows? Whenever it happens.
Well, if it happens 10, 20 years from now, you can't say she was using him.
Oh, no. She's totally.
Oh,
my God. After 20 years, she'll have like 10 albums.
Because
she's just using you. She's using you, Travis.
Because there's just like a lot of women artists that just write about their breakups. Like that's just what
read him
they do. That's just
his rights.
I think he likes being used.
Everything you say will
Seems to be enjoying it so
absolutely
far.
be used in
Like
the
they're
song
having fun.
against you. You know I'm right. Everything you say can and will be used in the song against you.
Okay. I mean,
Travis Kelce.
what else? What else is new? This is not. That's not new to her either.
I'm just saying, don't do it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
It's good advice. Why can't you just let me have this? It's good advice. Admit it's good advice. See, you can't even have that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1990, Johnny Sylvester, the terminally ill young boy who Babe Ruth promised to hit a home run for in the 1926 World Series, died at the age of 74. Well, wait, stop the music. You're not terminally ill if you die at the age of 74. So in 1926, he's babe, hit a home run for me. He's like, all right, you little bastard. And he goes out there and just kills it. And everybody's like, oh my God. You're not terminally ill if you live to 74. What the? But how?
That's a really good point, man.
You're 11 years old. You're like, I'm dying. And then you get to 74. I feel like we've missed part of the story.
I would say about 60 years worth.
Would just turn the show off at this point. I just that on this date just sort of aggravates me.
Yeah.
He died at the age of 74
in 1990 something.
I got better. I mean, what? I don't know. I just mixed two characters in the same movie.
Did you say he was 11 in 1926?
He was 11 in 1926, died at 74 in 1990. The math checks out. I looked into it.
Did he lie to Babe Ruth?
They said he got over it. Maybe it's just one of those things. Because remember, it's 1926, you know? So
okay, so maybe they just thought it was terminal and they were wrong.
Probably a good chance they misdiagnosed him.
Yeah.
Does that math work? When did he die?
1990. Age of 74. Well, you're right. Wait a minute.
That math doesn't work.
Wait, no, it does. He's 11 in 26. Just, you know what? We're out of time for show. You just here, write this down.
He was 75.
1990.
Okay, yeah, you're right. It works.
Died.
It works. He just hadn't had his birthday yet.
I hate how bad at math I'm getting.
He didn't make it, so it was terminal.
Yeah, he did finally die.
He didn't make it to his 75th, though.
He outlived a lot of people who were praying for him.
Yeah,
you know?
At the end. Can you imagine being told you're terminally ill at 11 and you die at 75 or 74?
I don't want to say nothing, but
in that case, we're all terminally ill at some point.
Every year he's showing up. Every year he's showing up at Make-A-Wish going, "No, they said you owe me some cookies at least. Let's go, something."
When did they stop giving him favors? Like when did it really like? This isn't cute anymore. You're still here, and I don't know. Your voice is deeper than some of our players. Like
will you hit me a home run? Oh, Jesus. Get away from me, kid.
You've got a beard. It connects.
That's why I gave him lifetime Yankee season seats, and he used them for 60 years.
I might need to start pre-reading some of these things.
Yeah. That one needed a review.
Terminally ill. All right, fine. Faker. All right, guys, that's it for us. We'll be back in your radios again tomorrow at 3 p.m. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580.